it's over. I see your motives inside, decisions to hide. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, we're headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you belong. You belong. I won't give everything away. I know all about, I know all about, I know all about, I know all about your motives inside, and your decision to hide. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, we're headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you belong. Where you belong. This is not where you belong.
Hey, shit, man. What's up with that shit now, nigga? What's up with that shit now, nigga? You talking? Huh? What's up? Oh, yeah, yeah. What's up there, nigga? What's up there? Let's do something. Bring your mouth, come on, nigga. Shit, nigga, I'm telling you, my nigga, stop bumping your gums. Let's go ahead and do what we're doing, nigga. What's this, something, nigga? You think I'm a pussy? We gon' something, nigga.
bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hey, what's up, man?
Transferring everything over is really... I'm still getting used to that. You know what I mean?
Not really, but yeah.
Now, when you have like a setup going and next thing you know, you're just trying to just chill, relax, get in the mojo, and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta switch everything over.
No, I got you.
Yeah. So, to everyone who's watching live, thank you. I have in the chat with me the one and only Shew. And actually, I don't know if you're watching the actual... As I got wrecked. I don't know if you're watching the preview, Shew. And
I was looking at all the pictures. It's pretty dope, man.
yeah, I do want to mention before we continue on that if you guys want me to put in some special photos or clips and something into this, please don't hesitate to DM me. I actually would really love to do that. It's actually pretty interesting. But nah, I'm playing Dark Souls 2, and I'm like, I wonder what I'm gonna name my character, and I don't know. It's not popping up, but I named him Shew. I thought it was great.
I don't know why you would do that, but I appreciate it.
Oh, because I'm gonna be dying a lot, and I figured, why not?
I'll not take that as an insult.
No, it's not an insult. I'm actually pretty good at the game. Nah, but I just want to state for the new guys who are possibly popping in, since we did get a shit ton of new members who probably don't even know who you are. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, I'm Shew, obviously. I run the unit, own it, and then Ellen Wood, the homie, is the co-owner of the unit, helps me run it. Always got my back, always been a huge help. But, I mean, run the unit since December. The unit itself, the kind of core group of people have been here since August. But no, I mean, that's basically it. You know, I just run the unit. I really enjoy it. Really enjoy the people that are in it. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I first joined in, I got pretty nervous, and I'm like, it's a whole bunch of guys of course, you never meet, so it's kind of interesting. But then once you actually start playing with them and hanging out with them a lot, you kind of get the vibe, and it's easy just to communicate. And I've actually enjoyed myself the last I feel like I've been here for like a month now, and it feels wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels.
I think you have.
Yeah. It's...
No, I totally get that though. It's it can definitely be. Yeah, you've been here more than 3 days. That's when you joined the Discord, July 18th. But no, it's especially when you see the size, and we're not the biggest unit out there. But when you see the size and people have already established friendships, like friend relationships, you know, shit like that, it can kind of be hard being a new guy. But I think everyone from top to bottom does a really good job of making sure everyone feels included and like welcome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if I remember correctly, you and Ellenwood, I think, started when it originally wasn't known as the 2ID. I believe, if I remember correctly, you guys were saying how you guys joined during the NOM session, when it was just straight up NOM.
So it was the 196th Light Infantry Division, or Light Infantry. Oh my God, I think it was LIB, so it was like Light Infantry Brigade or some shit. It's been a while. And being completely honest, I am a little hungover. But no, it was the 196th. It started August of 2020. I basically joined that with all of like 2 hours in Arma. My buddy Moser was the platoon sergeant. He's the sole reason I got a PC in the first place last year in June. And then the platoon leader was Brooks. Both those guys are in the Discord. Moser is like inactive reserves. He's just got other stuff going on. And then Brooks is in our third squad. But it was nom, and it was fun. I was M60 gunner, and I was the only M60 gunner there for a while, basically until Ellenwood came in.
Oh yeah. But since you've taken over, How much has like it put towards you, like the pressure and all that?
It may sound stupid since it's a video game, and it's just the internet, but I would say quite a bit. Obviously, you know, there's shit in real life that is, you know, more stressful. You know, work, family, that kind of balance and stuff. But you know, when you hop in a game and there's 30 people, and you know, you gotta, you know, make decisions. Sometimes they're not the best decisions. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not batting 1,000, that's for sure. But it can be a little daunting sometimes, and sometimes you're just like, dude, I would fucking love to just pick up like an M249 and just roll with like a squad and not have to worry about shit. But I really do enjoy being the leader, and I really do love what we built here.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know why you couldn't just like hand the torch over to Ellenwood, because I know Ellenwood like runs with the air once in a while whenever we do ops, you know, when you're not there. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know why you couldn't just hand him the torch or someone the torch and just be like, hey, they're taking in charge, and you can run on the ground for like an op or two, like get back to like that old feeling. Because I know that some of the ops that we were doing, you're complaining like, oh, I don't do a whole lot, you know, I feel like I'm useless. And then I remember one op, you actually shot someone. I'm like, holy shit, he actually did something.
Yeah, right. No, it's so it's a really good balance. Ellenwood, and you're gonna hear me talk a lot about him, because the 2ID wouldn't be the same without him.
Oh, I bet not.
Yeah, not trying to blow up smoke up his ass, but he is like jack of all trades. Like, dude can do anything. He can fly, he runs weapons platoon. If I wasn't here, he could run first platoon, he could run the unit, all that stuff. I mean, he's got a lot of time in Arma, he's got a lot of experience in milsims, so I mean, he could fucking do basically whatever he wanted. But the reason why I don't just go on the ground and, you know, do whatever is because at the end of the day, there's got to be a leader, and it's got to be steady. And there was, you know, kind of back in the NOM and the Marine unit that was in between NOM and the 2ID, there was a problem with just like leadership from time to time. And I'm not trying to bag on anyone, but it's like when you're the leader of the platoon, the unit, you got a role to play. Like, I can't be on the front lines, and that's fine. I love being, you know, the platoon leader, and I like being able to organize the squads and give them objectives, tell them what they need to do, and watching them accomplish it. But, you know, I'd also be lying and saying like, oh, the time where I was just a PFC or a specialist and didn't have any responsibilities, that was a fun time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, when you were like lower ranked and not a first lieutenant, I kind of want to hear some of your interesting stories, if you have any that you're willing to share.
Yeah, so I started off lowest rank you can in Vietnam as a private. I was offered higher rank because I had been in a bunch of milsims on like the Xbox with Battlefield and stuff with Moser, so he knew I could lead, he knew I was reliable, responsible and stuff like that. But I was like, hey man, I'm, you know, everyone jokes about it where I'm a boomer, and I kind of am. I'm
okay,
only 25,
boomer.
But I definitely got some boomer traits, man. But I was like, hey, I hardly know the controls of Arma. I've had a gaming PC for all of 2 months. I've put in a couple hours on Arma. I can't even remember some of the controls, because I mean, Arma was the first PC game I played. I never had a PC growing up. You know, I never played PC games outside of like Company of Heroes and Age of Empires, and that's a huge difference from Arma. So I struggled with like learning the controls a lot at first. But I got into Squad, and Squad kind of helped me learn how to PC game, and then I came back to Arma with like 3 hours, and I was learning more. But so I was the M60 gunner in Vietnam, and you know, we didn't use vehicles. You know, we didn't drive Humvees, Jeeps, anything. It was, you're in the fucking woods walking in a single file column. And by walking, I mean literally like we're just at the walking speed. And they would have like a combat engineer as the point man, so he could take out any booby traps, and then they would have the M60 guy, me, basically right behind him. So if he ever got blown up, if he ever got shot, I would just crouch or lay down, and then just drop 200 rounds downrange. And I did that a lot. I was a really good gunner. That's why I've always kind of shown, not, God, what is the word? Not like favoritism towards the machine gunners, but like I'll fucking go over and I'll check on my machine gunners. I'm like good on ammo, because like I know, you know, the hassle of like, hey, I only brought 1,200 rounds and I've just gone through 900 of them.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do when you're in like heated situations. 900 to like 9,000. I mean,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just the whole thing you gotta work with.
Yeah.
I actually had a good thing to ask. So I hate to be the person here to beat the dead horse.
God, is it okay? So before you say it, it's either gonna be like one of three things. You're gonna mention armored, or you're gonna mention the fucking pressure washer, or you'll mention something about me not being able to read maps because I'm the lieutenant, and it's probably one of the first two.
Well, actually, it's none of those things.
I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, it actually does involve pressure washers, because I remember how we were dicking around one day and we just had like an army of pressure washers. But I understand, like you go in blind some days and you're just like, what the hell is this machine? And it's like,
I didn't know, man.
I just love, because I was looking at the clip after when you posted it, and it kind of laughed at me. Like it dawned on me.
Yeah, don't worry. Everyone laughed at me. So
yeah.
No, that was probably one of my top moments.
In
Arma. It was funny as hell, because it's I try to be serious and I try to lead by example, but just with my not being the most Arma or experienced Arma. Jesus Christ, dude, you just got fucking domed. So it's like, I didn't know that was a pressure washer. Everyone, goes straight to me, is like, blame me. It's like, Tryon's the one who pointed it out. Tryon's the one who yelled gas, gas, gas.
No, I remember that.
On the radio and explained what I saw to Guan. I was like, he'll tell me if it's gas or not. And it's like, I saw like diesel, I was like, oh fuck, I think I fucked up. And then Guan's quiet after I finished talking, and he comes on. His voice a little lower, he's like, 1-6.
That's a pressure washer.
And I died, bro. It took me like a good couple of minutes to just fucking regain focus for the entire night. It was fucking great, man. Oh man, shit like that just happens.
Oh yeah,
to me.
Oh yeah, it does happen. Oh god, what was it? I think it was shit. Besides pressure washers, was there ever like another time you actually misunderstood like another item besides a pressure washer for like something different?
I'm not sure. I want to say no, but the honest, never like sure person in me is like, I'd like to say I don't think so, but I wouldn't fucking put it past me. There was one moment where, not similar situation, but just an absolute like what the fuck moment. It's one of my Twitch clips. I know we posted it in the Discord a couple of times before. And it was like my TeamSpeak bio about me not being able to read maps and then falling off buildings. Is one day, I believe, early 2 ID days, this is probably like January, February, sometime around that time. I'm on the top of a building with Baker, and at that time Baker was like a PFC or specialist, and he was a medic for 1-2. And then I had my RTO Curtin, who's not in the unit anymore.
Aww.
Just kind of burnt out on Arma. And I'm laying on top of the building. We're just picking off targets from like a long range because, again, you know, being lieutenant, I'm not supposed to be on the front lines with everybody all the time, so you got to sit back. And I went to reload while I was laying down. And if you look at your keyboard, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but the R key, which is the reload key for armor, at least for me it is, happens to be right next to the E key. And when you press E while laying down, you roll. And I was on the edge of the building, and I fat-fingered R and ended up hitting E and R at the same time. So I rolled off the edge of the building, like two or three story building. And I just slowly, like, it felt like it took 15 seconds for me to reach the bottom, and I like screamed, like, not like an actual scream, but just like a surprised, like, what the fuck? And then I landed on the ground, and I think I like fractured my leg or some shit like that, and I just burst out laughing again. I get a lot of those moments where I just fucking explode with laughter. Can't contain it, but that was the pressure washer moment for me before the pressure washer moment, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's Lewis is saying that wasn't the only time he fell off a roof.
A couple of other times, again, those were accidents. Like, one time I just like zoned out and I was like, wait, what am I doing? And I accidentally like walked off the side of the roof. That happened like a few weeks ago. I just like kept walking and I didn't turn. So off, Lewis.
Guys, listen, it's Arma. It's not gonna be great most days. Some days it's busted. Sometimes it's just a joke. Because I've known because I wasn't into Arma that much until recently. It was actually when I actually joined the two ideas when I started playing more with everybody else, especially like with Santos, Marston, all them, even Orion. Like I felt like, not trying to be all weird here, but I felt like I enjoy being in Squad 1-3, and it's like really it's really been interesting because I've never like ever had to do one of those things, like do a milsim, so it's like really interesting to like be part of it.
Yeah.
So when I'm over there and I'm like listening to like all these people chit chat and like having a good time, I'm like, you know what, this is pretty legit. And then here comes Big Daddy Tryon, who's like, we're gonna take everything that we just did, turn around and be better. Because he's, from what I understand, he's a pretty, from what he's told us, especially since I just met him recently, he's probably one of the best people that I understand. Not like best, like Baker's good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like has their quirks, everyone's like great in their own aspect, but he's also like one of those, we're not here to fuck around, we're here to do our job and get it done right kind of guys. And honestly, I like that about Tryon.
Absolutely. All three of our squad leaders, in my opinion, are great, and they're fantastic. And same goes for all of our team leaders and assistant squad leaders, because none of them would be in those positions if they weren't great.
Exactly.
That being said, though, all three of our squad leaders have very different leadership styles and very different leadership kind of personalities. Tryon is a very be serious, get it done, and accountability kind of guy. And I love that about him. I think Tryon is fantastic. And Schulters he knows his guys. He knows their strengths, their weaknesses, and he plays them to his strength. And Baker is a very serious, he wants to be a leader, and he loves being a leader. And, you know, I think he's got some great leadership traits, and he's getting a lot better. But and you know, just saying that, like, all three squad leaders have just different ways of leading, but they manage to get it done. And that's the biggest thing, is you don't need to lead a specific way to be successful. You can lead any way and be successful, and it works for all three of them. They're all different in their own ways, but that's not a bad thing.
I kind of want to hear some Shew first time squad leading stories, honestly, right now. There's got to be a couple good ones in your memory banks, Because,
Okay.
like you said, not especially when they first start, everyone kind of screws up a little bit. People are just learning that role.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of, if you have anything interesting you're willing to share, I mean, we're all for it.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to bear with me because it's been a long time since I've been like in that position of being an actual squad leader. So
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
started squad leading. I would say so. The Vietnam unit, I believe, lasted from August to late October, and then that transferred into the Marine unit. It wasn't like everyone quit, separated, and then some people got brought back. It was leadership was exchanged in ways that I won't delve super deep into because that's a whole nother fucking rabbit hole. But like the same people were kept. Discords were just switched over, names were changed. But my first squad leading experience was in Vietnam. So that in itself is very different from the way we squad lead now. There was no radios. There was one RTO. He would stay with either the platoon sergeant or the platoon leader, whichever one was there. If they were both, then he would be with the platoon leader. And that was he was communicating with air and the Zeus. So with me, it's, you know, your platoon sergeant or platoon leader calls the squad leaders over, kind of get close to each other, have a little chit chat. You know what you got to do, and then you got to go tell your squad. I was very into having assigned teams, and the unit was smaller back then, so we didn't even have assigned squads. It's basically like, okay, we're gonna operate 2 squads, and it was like a schoolyard pick. Ellen Wood was always my favorite choice. Irvin, who is a staff sergeant, and he's the forward observer in weapons now. He was one of my favorite choices. And then Garcia, who used to be the squad leader of 1-1, which I don't think you've ever met him.
No.
He was also one of my favorite choices. I always liked my squad to be on the front. If my squad was kind of sitting in the back, not doing stuff, I felt like we weren't doing a good job. I wanted us to be in the shit. I wanted us to be like the pride of the unit. I wanted us to be like that fucking squad where it's like, we're getting our asses kicked. This objective's really tough. We need some hard motherfuckers to go get it, and I wanted my squad to be those people that were chosen to go get that shit. I was really big on accountability, and I was also really big into getting to know my guys outside of Arma. And I think that's one of the reasons why it helped like grow my friendship with Ellenwood and why I'm able to rely on him so much. Because we'd play Arma, and then we'd get out, and then we'd just be in TeamSpeak for fucking 2, 3, 4 hours later with Irvin and the other guys just fucking, you know, bullshitting, having fun, playing squad, playing anything else basically. And I mean that's kind of like my squad leading kind of style and preference. I know there are some good stories where like we're pinned down and we're basically just in a circle defense, which means we were just surrounded on all sides, having like fucking helicopters get shot down, and just, you know, my squad being the one to push out and break through, being surrounded. And there's plenty of times where we just had to step up and, you know, fix other people's mistakes. And I'm not trying to brag or bash on anyone, but I really prided I would honestly say out of the 3 squad leaders, my leadership was probably closest to Tryon's. I wasn't as hard and on them, but I also didn't squad lead for a whole long time. It was probably about a month before I got moved up again. But I really enjoyed it. I took pride in doing it, and I wanted my guys to be prideful in what they did. I just wanted to be the best in the unit, you know. Again, we didn't really have organized squads. It's like we had 2 squad leaders. So it was like I just wanted to be the best, basically.
Okay, Pokemon. Yeah, no, I think everyone's goal when they first ever join a unit is, I want to lead, I want to be up top, I want to be the best, you know, prove everyone that I'm the toughest shit in the world, you know. But to some people, that's not always the case because they could think they're tough shit, but then when they go into like hard situations, they lock up. And I've noticed that with some people, because they get too scared. Like I even did it one time during one of our ops. I think it was Avila who was Zeusing that night, and I accidentally shot a friendly because it was just me. I was with Baker, I believe, Orion, and this was pre-McDowell in our unit, so I'm trying to think who the third person was. But everyone was dead, and I'm over there freaking out. I pick up the radio, not knowing the channels, and they're like, hey, can anyone hear me? Please? Someone? Help! And I'm over here freaking out, and next thing you know, I just see contact to my left, and I just shoot. I don't care. I'm like, there's people around me. I know that there's gunfire all over the place. I just shot, and then coming to find out it was just friendlies. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. It can be crazy like that, and that's like one thing. Like back in Nam, it's like there wasn't much friendly fire because I think like you want to talk about communicating and having radios and stuff like that. In Vietnam, it's like you had to 100% know where everybody was. It's like if one squad pushed up on a left flank, everyone who didn't needs to know where those guys are going. Because if you just see something green, rustling around in the trees and bushes, they're gonna get lit the fuck up. The uniform differences from the NVA and the VC to U.S. Army in Vietnam wasn't huge. It's like, yeah, you got your black pajamas, but it's like the NVA, they just wore tan.
Oh yeah,
and that shit fits in. So, but we didn't really have any like blue on blue situations.
Not as much since like I know that I like I said, I hate to be the guy to beat the dead horse, but I mean, was it the last 2-3 weeks within that period of time that I know of, there's at least been 2 blue on blue incidents. One last night, if you didn't know about it, and then one with me with one of the new guys. And it's mainly with the new guys because they're freaking out. They're not really used to Arma. Because I don't know if you've noticed, it's mainly been people who've joined the units and they're not familiar with communication because either they've just bought the game and are like, oh, I immediately want to join a unit like I did, or 2, they've had so many hours in like single player but they never really had the co-op aspect of it, so it's something new, and to them it's like accidents happen, but to some people it's like a what the fuck moment, and the next thing you know, like a virtual fist fight almost breaks out. And I feel like that's kind of like beats the purpose of it being called a game.
Absolutely. And I was informed about the situation that happened last night, and we've already got that handled. I spoke to my command staff. And that's just something, sadly, it's gonna happen. There's nothing that we can do to prevent it forever, because it's a game, and we're human. We're not perfect. Mistakes are gonna happen. The best we can do is try to prevent those mistakes and make them as little as possible. And then try to stay calm. I know that's probably one of the worst situations, and one of the situations you don't want to be in. 'Cause blue and blue is never fun. It's never fun.
And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, you can go ahead, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I know how blue and blue is because before I even got into Arma, I'm a heavy console player. Like right now, I'm recording and streaming off of my Xbox One right now, because before I got my laptop and everything that I do now, I used to be heavy into console gameplay, and one of my things was Call of Duty Hardcore. And let me tell you, I have never been so frustrated when someone purposely sees you and just shoots you on hardcore mode of any video game, though. But accidents, I understand accidents happen because you don't get that user interface. So I understand like how rough it is to see people like get blue on blued. But also on top of that, I always keep to myself saying it's just a game. But
yeah,
it's hard. It's especially hard in Arma because you don't get that immediate, like, hey, look, he's a friendly, because it takes a little bit sometime on certain people's screens, or sometimes it doesn't pop up if they're far away, and communication's always an issue. So, like, and that's usually what causes blue on blue. And like I said, I hate to be the one to beat the dead horse, but that's just something people just gotta live with and just work on to just get better at it. And that's all you really can do in those kind of situations.
Yeah, and it's especially being new, because when I was new, Especially like being the M60 gunner and being like, okay, there is one friendly 10 to 20 meters in front of me, just in case something blows up. I was like, he's the only guy I got to worry about. I was like, I got 5 to 10 dudes behind me in the formation, so I was like, outside of my buddy, outside of fucking Irvin in front of me, or Piave, or Garcia, or Ellenwood in front of me, I was like, outside of that dude in front of me, anything in front of me or immediately on my side is getting lit the fuck up. And I'm sure at one point I probably fucking lit up a friendly, but you know, shit happens, and it's, you know, I think the biggest thing is accountability. Like, if you do it, don't be like, oh, it wasn't me. It's like, I'll fucking own up if I make a mistake, if I make a bad call when leading. I was like, accountability is my thing. It's like, if you fuck up but you own up to it, I'm not gonna be mad at all. But if you fuck up and then try to get away from it or get around it and be like, no, that wasn't me, and then I go back and I do see it's you, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna yell at you or whatever, but now I kind of know how you are. It's like, if you shoot someone, it's like it sucks, but just be like, I'm sorry, that's my bad, I'm new, I'm not experienced. Like, that's all you gotta say, that's all you gotta do. And it's, you know, it's a unit. I mean, a lot of people here have been together for a long time, but there's also some people that are newer, and, you know, they don't have the established relationships with these people yet. But it's, you know, fucking Tryon with his soundboard and shit, he's gonna fucking roast me for this one, but I like to think of this place as a family. Like, Irvin, I was in Arizona on vacation a few weeks ago, and he fucking drove from California to Arizona on the last day that I was there to go fucking have drinks at me with a club with my wife and her family. And it's like, that's the kind of shit. It's like, I live in the Northwest in Washington State, and he fucking drove several hours just to fucking meet me. And it's like, that's the kind of shit I like, is having that relationship. And it's like, it's, I try to make sure that it's kind of a family relationship. And it's like, you know, brothers are gonna fight. My brother and I, we used to fight all the time. Him being older, he used to kick the shit out of me, and then I became, you know, 6'3", and he stopped. But, you know, tempers flare a little bit, especially on a game. You know, sometimes it's just not a good night. Maybe you're lagging. Maybe, you know, Arma's just, you know, being janky and fucking you over. So, you know, tempers can get kind of high and stuff like that, but it's all about how you just rebound, how you react, and, you know, just trying to be a good person, basically.
Basically, you can't. It's. I used to get very ragey, is how I'm gonna put it, whenever I start playing games.
When I was younger.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I think my very first online experience is I got a PS3 for my 10th birthday. That tells you how old I am. When you're 10, 11 years old and you just get a PS3 that just came out a couple years prior, oh yeah, like that definitely probably puts some age on me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but my very first online experience in general was Modern Warfare 2, and I think it's a lot of people's.
Straight to the deep end, I see.
Huh?
He just went straight to the fucking deep end, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I used to tell people my dad was a cop.
Oh man, I remember all that shit. Like, yeah, I know Bill Gates. I was like, okay. It was funny though, because my dad, he actually had a friend who worked for Microsoft.
Oh, that's probably one of those. Hey.
I never pulled that though, but he was like, you know, my Xbox 360 got the red ring of death. He's like, well, I can get you a refurbished one for free. It was like that kind of relationship, but I never pulled that. While I have a friend that works at Microsoft, but it's always funny when people pull that card and then you're like, well, actually, my dad is really a cop. Not mine. It's funny, you know, you say that to someone who is like a cop or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things, but going back with the whole friendship things, I was never like the cool kid in school, I would say. I was probably one of the most bullied kids in school, so I have kind of a scarred past. And
yeah, and I hate hearing that, man.
Yeah.
I hated that shit so much.
Yeah. And and I'm 22, about to be 23, and I'm like, you know what? All I could do is just learn from it, which I have a lot. I mean, I have my own kid now, so I'm trying to put her in a world where it's not very... She's gonna have that issue when she hits school with the bullies and the people who hate her. But friends will always be around, and my first time actually making friends that I actually was excited to be around was actually online.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Because you're talking about friendships, I'm like, my true friendships I've made online. I'm still in, I mean, I don't play with them as much, but I used to be heavy, and when people were messaging me through, like, I gave people my phone number, like, hey, here's my phone number, if you live in the States, here's my phone number, just hit me up or whatever you want to talk. Like, that's how my friendships were. And it was always great because it's always like, yo, bro, I'm hopping on some, like, BO1 zombies, you down? And I'm like, oh, hell the fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was when I really made friends, was Black Ops 1. Like, I made friends at Modern Warfare 2, but I made more friends after that, and I've learned how to communicate better with people and do scheduling better. And when people say, oh, you don't know how to time manage well, it's like, well, I used to time manage well when I would try and hang out with my friends online, because some people don't get on to, like, for example, Lewis and all of our British allies that are in the group.
Fucking mates, man.
Yeah.
They're my mates, man.
They're your mates?
I love those dudes.
Yeah, I love
everyone in the unit. And
I do.
I try to connect with everybody.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love my Brits, man.
Yeah.
I love them, bro.
You know, sometimes I want to offer them tea and crumpets, but I mean...
It is... Oh, man. Lewis McLaughlin, big up for the Brits. Yes, bro. That's a cheeky son of a bitch right there, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, because I know recently you were watching a show with your wife.
Yeah,
and
it's Love Island, and it's basically they bring like 5 dudes, 5 girls, into, they call it like a villa. It's basically just a big ass fucking mansion, in Spain, and you know they choose each other and they basically date, and the goal is like one couple at the end is gonna win, like I think it's like 50 grand, and the goal is to, you know, get an actual real relationship out of it. That's the shit my wife watches. Being married, you have a wife, right? Fiance, wife?
Fiance,
girlfriend?
but yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, man. It's like, I want to spend time with my wife. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. I watched like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes of like the 6th or 7th episode. I was like, fuck, this is good. And then she's like, okay, let's restart it from the first episode. I was like, all right, bet. And it's addicting, dude. It's like, we're all caught up now. It's like, we're waiting for episodes to come out and shit like that now. But it's cool. It's, you know, it's got drama and shit, and I'm not a big drama person in my real life, but I will absolutely watch drama and shit on TV or whatever. As long as it's like, there's no drama in my life, I'm glad to watch it on TV. But
that's the last thing
funny.
people want is drama in their life, though. You gotta admit that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know, man. I'm here for a good time. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to have arguments with people. I don't want people saying or thinking bad about me, and I don't want to do the same thing for them. But it's funny because there's like an Australian version and a US version of Love Island, but my wife started watching the UK version first, and we just tried to get into the American version. 2 episodes in, we just can't. It's not the same. The people just don't have the same banter of like going back and forth and just like the closeness. It's like all the dudes, they're guys, and it's like, yeah, we're here to like date people and get with girls and come out of here with a successful relationship, but they're all fucking, you know, just hanging out, working out, and that's the shit I like. I couldn't get into the American version because there's none of that. They're all just kind of douchebags. But it's like in the UK version, it's like they're fucking hugging each other, and
now
you know, they're just,
now it makes you wonder a little bit. Now that you're saying that, it's like, now do you think like they're interpreting like Americans as mainly douchebags and Britons are like superior? Just the way how you put that.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as that. It's just people's personality. These aren't famous people. These aren't, you know, Instagram influencers or YouTubers or whatever. These are people that, you know, this dude's a fucking construction worker. This lady works in like a local government or whatever. They're regular ass people. This dude plays college baseball, shit like that. So it's like, it's regular people, and I'm not saying like Americans are just douchey or whatever, but I haven't really had any interactions like the British people have had with each other outside of like some of my best friends. And these people are complete strangers, and they go in as complete strangers, and they're just fucking, you know, into the deep end, just being bros. And that's like my biggest thing is, you know, I like friendships, and I like being able to connect with people, and that's why I keep doing all the fucking, you know, British slang and all that shit with McLaughlin and Reese primarily, and then Lewis. But fucking Lewis, he's a little bit younger, and he's like, oh, that's cringy, I hate this.
Oh yeah.
But
no,
it's like, I love it, dude. It's like, if that's a way I can connect with 3 dudes that live on the opposite side of the world, if I can use that and connect with them, I'm all for it, man. It's like, they're great people, and we have great people that are from the States here, and a few people from the Philippines. But it's like, I try to
We have
connect
people
with
from the
everybody.
Philippines?
Like, yeah, a couple of them. I know Lawrence, he's been inactive. He's been having like internet issues, and I think he just recently moved, but he's in the Philippines.
I was gonna say, I mean, the Philippines also has pretty shitty internet anyways, and I know Brazil is one of those places too.
Mm-hmm. But it's, I mean, we got people from around the globe, man, and it's like, one of the guys, I think he's in 1-1, it's like he used to live in the state, and Jody from 1-2, he used to live in the same state as me, so it's like, it's crazy. He's like, oh, do you know where such and such place is? I was like, yeah, dude, I live like 20 minutes away from there. And he's like, yeah, the place is a piece of shit. I was like, you're fucking telling me, bro. So it's like, I mean, I can connect with people like Decent, people with McLaughlin is like Decent, other side of the country. Ellenwood, not from a city, he's, you know, a fucking modern day cowboy. I can connect with you. I can connect with fucking British people. I can connect with any of these guys, and that's what I fucking love. It's like, yeah, at some point I gotta be a leader, and sometimes I'm gonna have to yell, and I might have to be the asshole, which I don't like doing. But it's also like the times where I get to just fucking be, you know, we just get to be boys. That's the shit I like. Like, I try to be able to connect with everybody in the unit, no matter if they're Ellenwood and they've been here ever since I was here, you know, minus a few weeks because Ellenwood came in after I did, or if it's someone newer like you, or, you know, just shit like that, man. Like McLaughlin said, it's more of a family, and that's, you know, try to fucking play the Fast and Furious. I don't got fears, I got family. I can absolutely connect with Scorpion.
It's not
man,
fears, it's friends.
Mad lad right there. Mad lad, right, McLaughlin? Say it, man.
Can he connect to Scorpion Eaters?
I love Rash. Rash is my homie. It's like, all these people come from different walks of life, right?
Yeah.
You, Thomas, have done and experienced things that I've never done or experienced, and vice versa. Rash has done the same thing. So is Ellenwood, so is Lewis, Deason, McLaughlin, all that stuff. But we're able to come together and just have a fucking good time. You know, it's like, I haven't met any of these dudes in real life except for Irvin, you know, and it's just insane that it's like, hey, we're in a fucking army unit.
Mad lad.
5 hours, yeah, right? You're 5 hours away from me. I'm gonna come say, hey. It's like, that's the kind of relationship that we have here, and that's like, I want that for everybody. It's like, I keep telling Ellenwood, I was like, dude, if I go to where he lives, I was like, you're gonna fucking teach me how to ride a horse. He's like, bet. And I'm like, all right, time to look at fucking plane tickets.
Oh shit!
It's like, I got a handful of the guys added on Facebook, stuff like that. And it's like that shit connecting and stuff like that. I'm trying not to get super in-depth personal details about these guys because I don't know how much they're comfortable with.
No, definitely. No, I know you're an open book.
I'm not gonna expose anything for anyone, but it's like Decent. I saw something he posted on Facebook the other day regarding his family stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm a do this, and I'm a I don't know, be not trying to word this properly.
Yeah, sometimes wording's hard for some people.
Yeah, very hard.
Just like reading maps.
But it's, you know, I wanna help people out. You know, if, you know, someone's going through a rough patch, and I'm not saying Decent is, because that's opposite side of the fucking story. completely unrelated to Decent. But if anyone's going through like a hard time or whatever, it's like I'm there. Like fucking Ellen will tell you if you fucking message in general chat at 2 a.m. I got my phone right next to me and I got all my notifications on for that specific reason. So every single time someone messages in the Discord, my phone goes off. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Decent and his lovely wife are having a baby, and they posted their registry on Facebook. I was like, you know what? Decent lives across the entire country from me. You know, he's East Coast, I'm West Coast. Have I ever met Decent in real life? No. Do I know his wife? No. But am I gonna get him something that's on his baby registry because he's my fucking dude? You fucking bet your ass, man. That's family right there, bro.
You don't got friends, you got family.
Yeah, I don't got friends, I got family.
Okay, Vin Diesel.
27. But it's that kind of shit, you know? Like, you know, me and my wife, we want to start having a kid in like a year or so. But it's, you know, it's all about helping people out, you know? If someone's having a rough patch, I'll get in a fucking Discord call with them, or I'll just text them. If someone's, you know, hey guys, one of our members just had a kid, I fucking DM'd him personally. I was like, hey, congrats, take all the fucking time you need. This is a video game. Family in real life comes first. I told him, I was like, there's some people here that, you know, had kids this year. They're brand new dads. Like, if you need anything, reach out. You know, there's people that are here and can help. And that's just the kind of way I want it to be. You know, everyone's got their demons and their shit in life they got to deal with. Everyone's got their past.
I'm sorry. You know? I'm not trying to laugh while you're trying to be serious, but I just read one of the people in chat. I don't know who Atomic Revolver Man is, but he goes, you have to register.
That is Marston. That's
Marston. I love Marston. He goes, you have to register a baby.
Yeah, no, that's fucking gold.
I mean, it's true. Like, you have to register a baby. No, sadly, that's what Social Security numbers are for. So technically, you do register a baby.
But no, it's you know, I'll say it fucking time and time again. Like, these dudes are my family. You know, my wife has talked to these people. My wife knows their names. My wife, you know, hears me vent about all the stupid shit they fucking do, that just fucking just drives me up the wall. But at the end of the day, I fucking love these dudes, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I've personally have grown a pretty good attachment to certain people in the unit.
Yeah,
just basically just because of the fact, like, you could just talk to them, and it's like every time that I'm in an op or we're out of op or something, or just anything, I could always, like, message them or something and, you know, just have a straight conversation if they're available. You know, I'm not going to blow up your phone, like, every 5 minutes. Yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yo. Like, I'm not that kind of person, but if you're willing to talk to me, I'm willing to talk to you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, it's like one thing with general chat. It's like, if you needed something, if you message in general chat, I guarantee you're going to, if you're like, hey guys, I'm not doing good, and you put that in general chat, I guarantee you're going to have like 5 dudes like right away, like, what's up, brother? What do you need? Yeah. You know,
actually, true story. I don't know if you saw it, but I actually, because of personal reasons, me and my girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever the fuck you want to call her, and my daughter, we're planning, not this year, but the year after, we're planning on going to go see my dad, because he lives in a whole different state. Mind you, a little backstory, I never met my dad till I was 18.
Okay.
So, we're still trying to, like, patch up, like, 18 years of life, okay?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He has been there more for me the last 4 years than my own mother has.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's rough, man.
Trust me, my mom blamed me for... Yeah, my mom blamed me for my grandma's death recently. That was back in May. So, I live with that on my shoulders every day. And when people usually say, oh, no, you're not the reason, and I said, no, I'm not the reason. However, the way how your own mother says it to you, it hurts.
Absolutely.
But...
And it's like, I mean, obviously you have a kid. I don't. But the best thing I can say is make sure that your kids never have to feel that, you know?
No. And
like my dad, his dad was great, but he had a stepdad. who's just an asshole. You know, my dad was born in 1958, so I mean, he grew up in the time where it's like he got the ever living shit beat out of him for just wanting to go, you know, listen to music at a friend's house. But he made sure that none of the kids ever felt that. It was like, yeah, when I fucked up and I did something I wasn't supposed to, did I get my ass beat? Yeah, I fucking did. I'll tell you that right now. But it was never out of hate. And it was never for a bad reason. It's like I played with fire, but accidentally burnt my neighbor's backyard on fire.
Wait, what?
So I got my ass beat. Right?
Wait! You caught your neighbor's lawn on fire? How the fuck did you do that?
So I've always been into fire. Always kind of been like I would say like a pyromaniac because I'm better now. But I was in the 4th grade. You know, it's elementary school. I was a fucking idiot.
Everyone's are idiots.
So I took like a bunch of like brown paper bags, you know, like a sack lunch or whatever, and like notebook paper, and I got them in our backyard on our patio, and I'm like lighting them on fire, and my little sister's out there with me. And we're fucking
Brother of the Year 2020.
Right, man.
Well, 2021, my bad. I can't use 2020 no more.
Yeah, right. And it was fucking 4th grade. So, how old are you in 4th grade? Like 10 or 11?
Yeah, I'd say it depends on how you look at it, because some people could be like 9, some people could be 10, depending on the time.
So that was about the 2005 time period. We'll say I was 9 then. It's like we're fucking roasting hot dogs over burning notebook paper, bro. And then eating them like half warm, half cold fucking hot dogs. You know. And so we were done. So I got the hose and I fucking sprayed it down with water. Shut up, Rash. I sprayed it down with water, right? And then I fucking, you know, clumped it all together and I put it in another brown paper bag and I flung it over the fence. About an hour or so later, I start seeing smoke in my backyard. Not a ton, but it looks hazy. It was a sunny summer day, and I was like, why is it smoking back there? So I go outside, I stand on the picnic table, and I see one of the neighbors going into my neighbor's backyard, and I believe they were like on vacation, so they were gone.
Yeah, that's a lovely gift to give to somebody. They come back from vacation, their whole house is burned down.
No, their house didn't burn down. So like half of their backyard caught on fire, and not a lot. It was like a slow burn. You know, the fire station got called, or the fire department, and they were literally right across the street from my neighborhood. So they got there in like 40 seconds. So nothing got burnt down. It's just half their yard got a little scorched.
A little scorched.
Their fence didn't. But the thing that I've always struggled with, I was like, how the fuck did that happen? Because I like sprayed the shit down with water with a hose, right? And then I grabbed all like the burnt paper and the burnt bags with my hands. But I didn't get burnt. It was all soaking wet. Then I put it in another dry paper bag and I just tossed it over the fence. It's like, how did that catch on fire? It's in, you know, especially being young then, I didn't understand how that shit caught on fire, because I was like, I thought, you know, they would have just come back and be like, oh, someone threw a paper bag of trash over our yard. And they were on the corner, so like the street was on one side, so I threw it hard, like over to that side, so it would look like someone, yikes, bro. Where someone would just have like tossed it over the fence from the street. What's up, mate?
What's up, mate?
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking crack on, mate. No, but and it somehow caught on fire, and you know, my fucking parents, they were with my brother taking him to like a friend's house, and then they had like just a day to themselves. So they get back 4 or 5 hours later, or a couple hours later, when the fucking fire trucks are here, and that's all they saw driving up right next door. They're like, oh my god, are our kids okay? They come in, they find out what happened next door, they talk to the firefighters, all that shit. And they asked me, they're like, did you do that? I was like, no, but being in the 4th grade, I didn't know how to operate a lighter. My mom was a smoker, so I fucking ripped the skin off like my thumb, trying to use like the little metal lighters, like the big ones. And I didn't really know how to do it super well, because again, I was in 4th grade. I've never used a fucking lighter before. So it ripped part of the skin off on my thumb. and that's how they fucking knew. And I had to try to use it as an excuse, as like, oh, the cat scratched me and I just pulled skin off, but they didn't fucking buy it. That happened in like June, and I was grounded for all of summer. That summer fucking sucked, bro. I couldn't play video games, couldn't watch TV, couldn't do anything like that. It was it's fucking rough, man. But,
So I mean,
yeah.
But here's the thing though. You thought you did everything you were supposed to. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have played with fire. However, you're preventing from a bigger fire from happening. So the question is still, how the fuck did that happen? You know what I mean? That's what's going through your head,
bro.
And I would have told my parents, like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, I played with fire.
Oh, dude, I was fucking 9, man. I was like, oh, I can get out of this. And
oh yeah.
Fucking tried lying my way out.
Yeah, how'd that work? Tell me how that worked.
No, because they found out that they got to the fucking truth that fucking day. You know, it didn't even take them until nighttime. Took them an hour tops. Like, they talked to my sister, then they talked to me, then they talked to me again.
Oh yeah.
But
if you hear a crack, I'm sorry. I'm just getting something to drink real quick.
No worries, man. But no, that was probably the worst. One of the worst. I won't say the worst thing, because I've done some fucking stupid shit too. Other than that, but that was probably one of the dumbest things that's ever happened to me.
That sounds like it.
Yes, I did commit arson. Technically, I guess I did. Oh, and then so my dad, you know, he's like, well, you're gonna fucking pay them back. I was like, I'm in the 4th grade. I don't have any money. He's like, you're gonna mow their yard and do all their yard work for the entire summer. So I had to fucking mow their yard, fucking every week. And the thing with the neighbors though is they were older than my parents. Like, their kids had already, you know, grown, moved out. They were grandparents. And they weren't mad at all. My parents were more mad than they were. Like, they were like, hey, he's young, things happen, you know, luckily nothing bad happened. So it's like, they were chill. They're like, no, he doesn't need to mow our yard. And my parents were like, yes, he fucking does. We're gonna beat the shit out of him. He's grounded for literally forever. Like, they didn't tell me you're grounded for summer. They're like, you're grounded until we tell you you're not.
I've had that experience happen before. Actually,
Yeah.
you used to talk about grounding forevers. My stepdad, my mom, well, they weren't married at the time, but I was in like the 4th grade, like you, and I was going to a football game. I played football since I was like in the 3rd grade. All right.
Yep, I'm here, man.
All right. So I played football. We're walking to one of my games, and to get to the football field for Pee Wee football and all that, I had to go across train tracks. Well, a train was coming. All right. And my mom looked at me straight up and said, just run in front of it. I don't care, just run in front of it. As soon as we crossed the tracks, okay, the train legit just drove by.
Yeah.
So I looked at my mom, I said, I hate you, you almost killed me. You know, like, out of rage, my anxiety, my blood pressure, everything's going skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Alright. And then my mom's boyfriend looks at me and says, hey, listen, because you told your mom this, you're grounded till you're 18. I'm like, just because she almost got me, like, killed? And he goes, I don't care, you're grounded. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that made no sense.
That's a little extreme.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't even last like a fucking week, but, you know, like, the wording of it was like, bro, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, she's the one who basically forced me to go in front of a train. Like, why isn't she getting yelled at?
Yeah.
Like, it just, that happened to me, and that was probably the only time it, like, really, affected me heavily. Mm-hmm. But there's been other times I've been grounded over dumb stuff, like, we had a family video in my town. So, like, if you don't know what a family video is, it's basically like it's like Blockbuster. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just think more think more DVDs though instead of like VHS tapes. And what happened is a friend of mine looked at me. My mom had an account with them, and we go and pick out a movie, like one of the like $1, $2 movies or whatever. He's like, well, I want to watch a certain movie, but I don't have an account. I said, no shit, dude. Like, bruh, just put it in my account. You know, like, and we did. We put it in my account. My mom grounded me for a month because she didn't tell me that it wasn't okay. She just grounded me. She goes, you're grounded for using my account because now there's a late fee on there, so now you're punished. I'm like 10 years old. Do you think I know what money is?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I was kind of the same way with like on demand on cable and shit. I would just buy this movie I've seen like 20 fucking times before and watch it and pay $5.
Wait,
it's
what?
Like, yeah, it's $5, but like the principal, my dad's like, you've seen this movie 20 times, it sucks. And I'm like, well, I like it, but I'm fucking young kid. And to answer all the people in the chat, yeah, half their backyard was burnt down. So I didn't mow that half since nothing grew there, but I still had half the other backyard and their entire front yard was fucking massive.
Oh yeah.
So I did have to mow their yard, and the burnt shit did come back. So, but
oh yeah, no, I just love looking at chat, and I look at Rash. She goes, "I got grounded for having wrinkles in my bed." Marcin just lived. Did you live at boot camp? Like, bruh, I would question that myself. I'm like, wait, why am I grounded? Like, for wrinkles? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the super cleanest person in the world. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, legit, on my, like, little setup over here, I got a couple cables and a couple cans on my desk.
yeah,
Like, I'm not the cleanest person in the world, but I just, when you read something like that, it just, you should have burnt more, Shew. You should have burnt more.
If I burnt more, I would have been in more trouble. But you didn't live through that ass beating. I almost didn't live through that ass beating.
You didn't live through that ass beating. Oh boy. No, that's wonderful, actually, just hearing that.
No, but
Oh god.
when I was in like elementary school,
why?
I was a piece of shit.
My stepdad was an ass and would find any reason to lock me in my room. Kinda shitty. That is kinda shitty.
Yeah.
Like, just reading that alone makes me feel bad. But there was a time I got punished for, what did I do? Like, you see, you get punished for so much shit when you're younger. You're like, oh, like, what did I do this time to get grounded? And it's like, you're just trying to remember. Excuse me. But, there was a time I had to write, I will not lie to my parents. I will not lie to my parents like 50 times, like Catholic school style. It was like messed up.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him, I said, well, this ain't fair, like, I shouldn't have to go through this. This is child abuse. Yes, I used the word child abuse for writing like 50 like sentences saying I will not lie to my parents. That
They're like, we'll show you child abuse.
I mean, they kind of did after, but no, like, when you think about it, child abuse has come from a long way, from like getting your ass beat to just like writing like 50 sentences down of why you won't do it again. Like,
yeah, exactly.
if you think about it, like, with someone as old as, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say Ellenwood, I think he got beat with a switch.
Ellenwood's not that old, bro.
Oh, his tone gave me that, like, the way how he talks. He's like, let's see here, what should I do? But
No.
yeah, no, it's just, it's fun.
Ellenwood does sound older than he actually is.
That's why I originally got that, like, impression. Now I feel bad, but also I find it kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. He doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
man.
Ellenwood's great.
He is.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? There was actually something I was gonna say. That's probably like one of the dumbest things I probably got grounded for, though, was like practically just lying to my family. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've had the most abusive thing I've ever did was I actually got thrown into a fucking like wall by my mother. I was like,
Man.
I was like 15 years old, and she like said something to me, and I talked back to her because I was sick of her bullshit. And this time I was living with my grandmother. My grandma wasn't there, and she legit took me by my neck and just bam hair threw me into the fucking wall. And my grandma came back and she goes, what the happened to my wall? And she goes, I don't know. It was like that when I got here. And then she looked at me like I broke it. And my grandma looked at me. She goes, what happened to my wall? I said, Then as soon as my mom left, I told her. And she goes, I get it now. I was abused. Like, for being, like, back in, like, the mid-2000s, I was heavily abused as a child.
Yeah.
And I feel bad when I hear people say, oh, my kids got away, or, like, taken away. I didn't do anything. All I did was just, you know, punish them a little bit. It's like, okay, what was the punishment? And that's just my own personal opinion. I don't feel like... I mean, if you're, like, a little bitch, I mean... You've seen how some kids act nowadays. I mean...
Exactly.
I work at a convenience store, dude. When I'm not doing this podcast, recording videos or something, I have a day job. I work at a fucking convenience store. I work at Walmart. All I hear all day is, wah, wah, screaming on top of their lungs like, bruh, you don't get your way? And they just keep on shopping, like, not caring about other people. I think those parents need to, like, go back to parenting school. Surprisingly, there is a parenting school out there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So it's like, I'm over here like, bruh, can we just not have your kids screaming here? Like, it echoes. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you could be in the back of the store, and it's like warehouse big, so it's like you're trying to just do your job, and next thing you know, you just hear the screaming and hollering, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that it's like I don't dislike kids, but I dislike kids that have no
respect.
So that and like self-control and aren't held accountable. Like, obviously I'm not a parent, but whenever I am, I'm gonna hold my kids accountable. They're gonna be respectful to people, and it's not gonna be, you know, just letting them get away with whatever. One of my neighbors who was over at my party last night, his oldest is an 11-year-old daughter, and I mean, he talks to her the way, you know, like adults would, not in a bad way, but he like, so she knows what's up, you know, he keeps it real with her, always in like a respectful way, but it's like, it's preparing her so she's not gonna get surprised by, you know, the real world and stuff like that. And it's like, he holds her accountable. It's like, hey, you got chores. It's like, she does them, and then, you know, she like recycles cans and turns them in, you know, for like money and shit like that. And it's like, that's kind of how I want to be a parent, you know, obviously, you know, love them and treat them good, but also, you know, prepare them for like the real world and shit. Yeah, you guys are, all of you guys are my fucking kids.
I feel like if I saw your hair right now, like if I saw a picture of your hair, I feel like we'd see like just nothing else, just gray. We've turned you gray.
I have brown hair, but I do have some gray hairs in there.
You see, guys, that's from us. That's from us.
Primarily from stress, and I won't say it's all from Arma, because some of it's just, you know, real world stuff. I've had a very stressful job.
Actually, that is something that I was going to talk about, but we'll finish this up here with you. With what you're saying, then we'll talk about what you do outside of Arma and shit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. But no, it's like I got a couple of gray hairs here and there. But it's, you know, only noticeable if you look closely. So basically, only me and my wife see them.
All right. So we gotta take tweezers and magnifying glasses to find your gray hairs. That's wonderful to hear.
No, it's like just looking in the mirror, you can see them. I don't fucking pull them out. I don't care. Fucking hair, you know.
I look at my girlfriend
if
some days.
I'm 40 and I start getting gray hair, at least I'll have fucking hair still, though. Because that's like one thing is like, my family's always had like good head hair. Not, you know, like I can't grow a beard. Like, I'll say that right now. I can't grow a beard. I could try, but it won't be a beard and it won't look good. So it's, you know, we just don't have facial hair, but it's like my grandpa, you know, before he passed, he was in his mid-80s and he still had hair on his head. And it was, you know, still solid hair. And then my dad going through cancer a couple times, he still had hair on his head, you know, going through chemo and radiation and stuff. So that's just like a trait I got from my family. It's like, I can't grow a mustache, really. I can't grow a beard. But I'll have fucking hair when I'm like 70. if I make it to that point.
Nah, you'll be too stressed from Arma. Arma, like, 17 will be out by... Well, no. Speaking of the difference between when Arma 2 to Arma 3 got released, next thing we'll have Arma 4 is what I heard we should be seeing something by 2024, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having fun with Arma 3. It's jank as fuck sometimes, but...
It makes me wish that Arma 2 was still up, because Arma 2, honestly, didn't have bad mechanics. Because that was my first Arma experience, was actually Arma 2, and all I did was hop onto a multiplayer game, like, oh, this ain't so bad. You know, not learning anything, I hop on Arma 2, and I'm like, oh, this ain't so bad, and I just get popped every 5 seconds. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, how realistic is this? Oh, dude, you don't want to buy it now because servers aren't up, but if you had Arma 2, it was more jank than... You ever played DayZ?
I made the mistake of, before I got into PC gaming, I bought DayZ on the Xbox.
Okay,
you want to talk about fucking jank, dude? Holy shit.
That's your experience of Arma 2, because DayZ was first a mod for Arma 2. So if you want a good close comparison to Arma 2, just play DayZ.
Yeah. No, I always wanted that game, and always wanted it to be, like, really good. So, like, playing the Xbox 360, I was like, oh, I want to get a PC to play DayZ and stuff like that. It looked so much fun. And then I get, like, the DayZ console edition for, like, $45.
And it was the worst mistake of your life.
I had fun on it. I won't lie, but it's like I didn't have anyone to play with. I was just walking around. I'd get a decent amount of stuff, and then I would just randomly die, and then I would start back over again. I never built anything. I never did a bunch of PvP. I would just, go town to town and scavenge and just kind of vibe. It wasn't. I won't say it was, a bad video game purchase, but it definitely wasn't like stable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to talk about bad game purchases, it's not a bad game per se. It's just a hard game to really get into. Is what I'm playing now is Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls. Well, actually, Demon Souls was my first experience in this franchise, and it was a very hard learning curve because you don't get very much tutorial for anything. But then you're like, oh, okay, so I understand the basics now. We're good to go. And recently, because I've seen a lot of people play it, Evans was playing it a lot. I bought Escape from Tarkov recently.
Yeah.
And everyone says it because I'm not gonna lie, I have never been so addicted since I played this game. Because
Tarkov can be really fun, but it can also just fucking rip your soul out.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a raid and all I had to reset my game because I lost everything.
Yeah.
That's how... But here's the joke. Like, oh, you think the PPSH is such a great gun in other games? Nah, don't use that shit in Tarkov because that shit misses, like, dramatically. It's...
and just the round, it doesn't fire a good, stopping round, basically.
Yeah. The Beretta pistol is stronger than that, and that's saying something.
Exactly.
But it's like, there's so many, like, games that people say, oh, like, this... My very first, like, video game altogether, though, was actually Spyro. So, when they announced the Reignited trilogy, like, I played the shit... Like, I'm on the last game. Like, I haven't played it in a hot minute, only because of the fact that I've been playing a lot of other games. But I'm on on Spyro 3 right now, 100%ing the shit out of that game. Like, that's my goal, is I want 110% all 3 games. Tarkov after tonight's op, boys. Definitely!
I'm trying to have a good, relaxing night, Rash, and you're really trying to fuck with that up. Like,
well...
I'm trying to fucking, I don't know, maybe play some of Madden. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways...
This wipe on Tarkov, I'm just not into this wipe. Evans keeps asking me, and I'm like, Evans, I'd love to play with you, bro, but I don't even play this, like, I don't know, it's just something with this wipe. It didn't start good for me, and now it's at the point where I'm only, like, a level 4 or 5 or whatever, and everyone's so far ahead, it's like, if I hop...
What are you talking about? Listen, you could be a level... I've seen people, like, it's not about your level. It's about your skill. Tarkov ain't about levels. It's all about skill. It's one of the only games that I've played that actually takes skill. And it's insane. Because you thought...
Is, though, I don't have good skill in that game either. Like, yeah, it's not about levels, but at 20 you get the flea market, and that's where you can really start building, like, OP kits and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's what I need. I went through 500,000 ruples within, like, 5 hours. Just...
That's not even that much, dude.
No.
I've had worse where it's like I've gone through like a couple million in like an hour.
How do you go through a couple million? That's because shit's expensive. But it's like
once you get the flea market, it opens everything up. But it's like, yeah, it takes skill, but sometimes you can just get fucked by Tarkov, and it can just be all luck and shit like that. But it's also, like I said, I don't have interest to play this wipe. I did like when it started, but I just wasn't really like enjoying it at the very beginning, so it's like I stopped playing it, and it's just I don't see like Tarkov be like, hell yeah, I want to play that Rash. It's like I would love to fucking hang out and play, you know, games with the boys, or just even hang out in like TeamSpeak if you guys are playing that shit.
Oh yeah.
But I just have zero want to play that game because I know I'm not gonna have fun. 100%.
That's actually why I enjoy playing games like Dark Souls. Like, it's one of those things. All right, what did my bank account get charged? Oh, it's my Prime Video, my membership. Relax while gaming. Huh. In For Honor, Rainbow Six, Dark Souls, Tarkov, and more now. Yeah. No. You see, here's the thing. Like, you want to talk about games that are relaxing? And I'm one of those people. I actually am one of those people who will sit down and actually enjoy playing like the Metal Gear Solid games. I was excited for Metal Gear 5 when that first got announced. And the whole Ground Zeroes Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain like thing that happened, I wasn't too happy about. But once I actually started playing Ground Zeroes, I'm like, okay, I can get away with this. And then I play Phantom Pain, I'm like, I actually enjoy it, and I own it, and I will still hop on now and again just to grind. I don't care about the story anymore, but the gameplay is smooth, and everything else, it's so great. Like, yeah, tragic Kojima got the boot, though. Yeah, Kojima got, like, the boot. Did you know that, Shew?
I did, yeah. I heard about that, and I was like, it just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, when you go back, I've played. Let's see here, my very first Metal Gear game was not actually Metal Gear back on the Super Nintendo. It was actually Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and it was my very first like legit tactical shooter game, and I played it. Like at first, I didn't enjoy it. Like it was when you're young, you're like, oh, I want to move on, so I wasn't like watching the story. But then I got a PS3, and then I replayed like Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, 4. Like, I played them all, and I'm like, this is a masterpiece. I don't care what people say. This is such a great game. Like, great series. And then you hear about Kojima leaving, and it's like, why? And I did some research. He got fucked over. He was supposed to get a certain percentage for his previous licenses, and Konami just basically said, fuck you. And Kojima got the boot only because of the fact he wanted the series to end, but Konami wasn't going for it. They wanted
want to fucking milk it some more.
Exactly. They were gonna pull a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And Kojima wasn't gonna do it, and I respect that.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and play a game that's rushed. I mean, think about it. Like, there's games that have been rushed and they're just like great, and then there's games that have been rushed and they're like total shit. Call of Duty. And well, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019, but I played Cold War. I'm like, actually, that's what I was gonna play tonight, was show y'all my Call of Duty skills, but I couldn't play because I only have one Ethernet cable, and streaming wasn't possible with only without my Ethernet cable in my Xbox and in my in my laptop. But
yeah, exactly.
Call of Duty was such a great game until like Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Black Ops 3. I wasn't a fan of Black Ops 4. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 3. I was unhappy but okay with playing Advanced Warfare. And when I saw Infinite Warfare, I said, yeah, this is a joke. I was not too happy. I'm a gamer at heart, and I just... If you're going to look at me and say, oh, this is a polished game, that's not a polished game. That it was over 100 gigs to play Infinite Warfare. Like, I thought that was a joke. When I saw the download for that, I said, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It just...
It's a huge ass download, dude.
Oh, yeah. People are like, oh, like, what's next for Call of Duty? And recently, Vanguard was announced. It's like, oh, yeah, another basic Call of Duty game. Whoopee, we're back in World War II. Okay, who cares? Can we get something different? Take your time with a fucking game. Take a year off. No, the whole Activision Blizzard thing is going out of proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's why people are, like, upset with them right now, besides the whole thing that's going on over there. And I actually agree with that statement. Like, play a game for fun. Don't play a game as like it's a fucking chore. I know some people play games because it's their job, like pro gamers and shit like that. That's their job.
Gamers and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 2019 was actually solid as fuck. Yeah, it was solid as fuck. I actually it's sad to say, 'cause you actually don't know this, Shew. I was Master Prestige on Modern Warfare 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, max level, 500 everything, okay? And then I moved over to Cold War, so I did all that shit again. No big deal. It wasn't until February of this year. 2 years worth of skins, 2 years worth of gameplay, okay? Vanished.
Fuck.
I lost my skins. I've lost everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was
so...
Oh yeah, I was pissed. And that's why I don't hop on as much as Call of Duty. That's why I'm not excited for Vanguard as I would. I wouldn't mind it if, you know, my skins and shit were still there, but it's just the same old Call of Duty. If anything, I'd go back to playing like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, you know, like those kind of games. And there's actually software you can get if you own those original files, and you can play a fan-made version of it where you have all the Modern Warfare guns, all the Black Ops guns, and you can actually sit there and enjoy yourselves in those old maps, old styles, everything. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's called Plutonium.
I mean, yeah, I used to be really big into Call of Duty, but I think after like Modern Warfare 2, I really just kind of toned it down. I got like the recent World War II one from like a few years ago, and that was basically like the last Call of Duty I played. So yeah, I used to really like them. Call of Duty 2 and 2 Big Red 1, Call of Duty 4, fucking World at War was dope. Black Ops, the first 2, I really enjoyed playing, but it's like now it's like I don't have any interest in Call of Duty. You know, I'm getting into more of these tactical shooters and stuff. I didn't drop a shitload of money on a PC to just play Call of Duty.
No. You dropped like, let's say you spent like $2,000 to $3,000 on your computer. I'm not asking how much your computer is. You spent $2,000. You spent $2,000. Okay, that's actually not so bad.
I can run Arma on fucking max settings and I still get like 90 FPS. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Except for like when it's just Arma's being jank and we're in the middle of a city and then I'm getting like 40.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. No, I only spent like a little under $1,000 for my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Only because of the fact I couldn't afford a desktop. I don't got the space for a desktop. Mm-hmm. So right now, until me and my girlfriend, fiance, the fuck you ever want to call her, we're. It's one of those things, and you know, until we get our place all situated. And one of the things that I was looking for was AKA to stream, to play video games on, you know, like stuff like that. That was my goal. And for $1,000, I was happy. You know, I'm not gonna complain. I'm okay with $1,000. But
Yeah.
when I get more money rolling in and I get more room, I'm planning on dropping at least 3 on a decent setup because of everything being inflated.
Yeah.
The graphics card market is just so like downhill right now. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Jesus, fuck these dragons. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I think my biggest thing with spending that much on my desktop is I wanted to be able to play things with good graphics and not have to worry about a bunch of lag, and then also just getting shit that I'm not gonna have to start upgrading for another couple of years. So it's like that's my thing is like I'm fine with basically Bucky.
You dropped all the
but it's
money
like,
on for Arma, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I just, you know, I don't want to have to upgrade it. Like I don't mind that I'll have to upgrade in a couple years, but it's like I want to, you know, just be able to, you know, chill with my setup for a few years without having to spend money. So I kind of went top shelf on shit. I can run any game I've ever played. I've been able to run on max. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's like
Oh no. You know,
I don't want to have a potato. I don't want to have to, you know, upgrade shit every year, every, you know, 6 months or whatever.
No.
I was like, I had my buddy, you know, help me with a list because he was into PC gaming before me, and he's the one who helped me build it because I didn't know how to. And he's like, well, you know, he gave me options for, you know, graphics card, options for CPUs, options for, you know, cooling systems, whatever the fuck, and shit like that. And then it's, you know, I just chose from there, you know, the good shit basically. But I mean, it's like now that I have this, like I want to play shit like Arma, Squad, fun games and shit. I don't want to be playing like Call of Duties and stuff like that. You know, I didn't spend this much money to just, you know, buy a reskinned game, even though I still play like Maddens and shit like that.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I'm a football fan. I just like football.
I like football, but even I know not to buy Madden. It's gone downhill dramatically.
Madden's not a good game, but it's like, I mean, even if it's just the roster updates and slight changes, I still, you know, get them to play and stuff. It's like, you know, I want to play with the new people that, you know, my favorite team drafted. You know, I want to, you know, build teams up.
I gotta
stuff
hear
like
this
that.
now. What is your favorite team? I have to ask.
I'm definitely gonna get some fucking hate for this one.
Please.
But, it's New England Patriots. Podcast over.
I was thinking about it.
No, I'm having a great time so far.
No,
Really
you're
enjoying it.
fine. You're fine. I actually am too. I'm enjoying this.
Oh,
No,
man.
actually, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this too. I'm actually a Steelers fan.
I don't mind the Steelers. I just don't like Ben Roethlisberger.
No one does, and to my opinion, I don't keep up with the drama about it. He plays good ball. That's
Yeah.
how I see it. I'm like, I'll watch you, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna follow you on Twitter and shit like that. That's just me personally. But I usually don't get heavy into football season until playoff season.
Yeah.
Only because of the fact because most of the time they don't play their A game during the normal season. They usually play way harder during playoffs. And that's when I get more intrigued, and usually I will do a poll and do some stuff with that with some friends or something. We could do it with the unit too at one point, but I don't think a lot of the 15-year-olds want to put up money. But I've always wanted to do like fantasy football, and I've never really got a group together to do like fantasy football. But
yeah, fantasy football is pretty fun.
I don't know how to even do fantasy football. That's how into it I am. But and it's just because of the fact I've seen people like play like DraftKings and like come out like $10,000 richer, and that's what intrigues me more.
I never do any of that. It's like I'm in a league with all these dudes I know in real life. We play, you know, football, softball together, you know, and it's like you put in a certain amount of money. Your top 3 people in the league get money. Third place, you basically get back the money that you spent to get into the league. Second place, you get a little bit more, so you technically make money. And then first place gets more money, and then they get like a little trophy and like a little ring that like the owner gets you know, kind of made up. But it's fun, you know, having like a little draft party, going over for drinks and barbecue and stuff. Like we did that, and it's fun because it kind of gets you more into football. Like, you know, now it's like, instead of just watching the Patriots and the other team I like or whatever, now I'm watching these other games where it's like trying to, you know, make sure this dude's having a good game, and, you know, watching a team that I normally wouldn't watch. It's like, so the quarterback for the LA Chargers, Justin Herbert, it's like, I'm not an Oregon Ducks fan, and that's who we played for. And I'm not a Chargers fan, but that's, you know, who he plays for. So I found myself watching a lot of him playing, and he's fucking solid. Like, he was like rookie of the year last year. So it's like, it's getting me watching these football games I normally wouldn't watch. And a lot of the times it's really enjoyable just watching it to just watch football. You know?
Yeah. No, I think one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen in football history, that I've seen personally, was the recent Bears versus Steelers game.
Okay.
If you know what I mean by that, have you seen that game for
I don't
playoff
think so.
season? Bruh, the first 12, after kickoff, not even the first 12 seconds, Steelers fumble the ball and Bears got a touchdown. And shit, who's the quarterback for the Bears? Shit, I can't remember.
Last year I think it was Mitchell Trubisky.
No.
Now it's Justin Fields and like Andy Dalton or some shit, I think.
No, not the Bears, the Browns. I'm thinking of the Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Oh yeah, I like the Browns. It's Baker Mayfield.
Thank you. When I saw why was I thinking of the Bears? I'm like, no, that's not the name I was thinking of. Then I'm like, oh, he should the Browns. Because you don't hear the Browns going to the playoffs. You don't.
They did last year.
I know, that's why I wasn't thinking of them. But nah, what happened was that Baker Mayfield kept on popping his shots, and it really pissed me off. That game against the Browns, it was the saddest day for a Steelers fan after that first 12 seconds.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Steelers fans like turned down their jerseys. Like, it was such a shit show. It really pissed me off. Like, I was excited. I'm like, okay, because me and my buddy had like $10 on it. We weren't going. It was just me and one of my friends, really close friends, because his team was in the playoffs and my team was in the playoffs. It was in the Final Four. Actually, it wasn't even the Browns in the playoffs. It was like top 8 then, because Browns lost the game beforehand. But my buddy and me, we were like, okay, so what? Do you want to put some money on this? I said, sure, because he's a Saints fan.
Okay.
And the Saints and the Steelers games were on the same day, so we put money on it on who was gonna make it to the Super Bowl. He said Saints, I said Steelers, of course, because that was my team. Saints is his team. And we agreed that since none of our teams made it to playoffs, we just agreed that we're just not going to pay each other. Because both of our teams lost that one. But I'm not going to lie, though. I'm not a anti-Brady. I just think it was very toxic for him to be with the Patriots. The Bucks, though, I think was a good fit for him, in my opinion. Just mainly because he showed the world, or at least showed America, that he doesn't need the Patriots to make it to the Super Bowl. His first year, Broncos is where it's at. Shut up, McLaughlin. Broncos are terrible, especially after Peyton leaving. They're going bad.
Come on, buzz off.
Oh my god. But so oh my god. So yeah,
I love Brady though. I will never root against him. I mean, obviously when he comes to play the Patriots, I will a little bit, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, fuck Brady, you know, he sucks, you know, he left the Patriots, like fuck him, you know."
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people like turned on him. I was like, oh, I fucking love Tom Brady, dude. Patriots wouldn't be the Patriots without Tom Brady.
Exactly.
So,
The only reason, but Tom Brady as a whole, like at first I was like, all boo anti Tom Brady, like because he was with the Patriots.
like everybody else, yeah.
Yeah, I did. But then I saw him play for the Bucks. I'm like, you know what? I don't hate Brady.
Yeah.
He is not.
A lot of people kind of turned that corner after he won the Super Bowl with the Bucks. They're like, you know what? Tom Brady's not that bad.
Exactly.
Even friends who would talk shit on me for years and years, like fuck Tom Brady, you know, I hate the Patriots. They're you know whatever. And then it's like he comes and then my buddy, he's in real life. He's like, you know what? I kind of like Brady. It was really fun watching him with the Bucks. I was like, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Now
come
you get
on.
it.
My controller, like, the batteries fell out. Fuck. Oh, are you fucking serious? You're doing this to me now. Sorry. This whole, like, we've been talking about you and all that for, like, the last, like, looks like almost 2 hours. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying myself, honestly. You made time fly so fast, it's not even funny. And it's
it, man.
oh no, definitely, I love it. And this is what I'm looking for whenever I do these. But it's just something I just realized too was the time, which doesn't bug me because we still got like a while.
Yeah, I mean, I still got an hour and a half until I gotta load in at 4. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're still good, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to keep going.
No, we're gonna keep going. I'm enjoying this.
All right.
I'm just saying, like, as a whole, like,
Going for a while.
it's going for a while. I wasn't expecting it to go this long. To me, it felt like it's only been like maybe 45 minutes to an hour. But then I look at the time, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. But anyways, but Brady as a whole, once he showed the world that I'm getting my ass wrecked here. After he showed the world that he doesn't need the Patriots, then everyone's like, you know what, it wasn't Brady, it was just the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Patriots as a whole was terrible. Like, they're all greedy fucks. And Brady has it to prove it. He went to the Super Bowl his first year playing for the Buccaneers, and he made it. Like, and people are like, he's not gonna make it, and he fucking made it. If you're a true Brady's fan, you knew that. But if you're someone who is just anti-Brady mainly because of the fact of the Patriots, then you wouldn't have known that. And that's just something that intrigues me.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
But no, I'll always root for Brady. I just think he's a fucking good football player.
Is he your quarterback for the fantasy draft? Is that why?
No. So my quarterbacks are Aaron Rodgers with the Packers, Justin Herbert with the Chargers, and then Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, I think, is gonna.
He's good, man.
Oh my God, he's God.
Savior. He's the Brown savior for sure.
Oh yeah, but, whew, like his last season was just spot on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, so the Browns are my other team that I like. So the Patriots are my favorite, and I was like, well, since the Patriots are always in the playoffs, I want to like a team that's not good. So I can, hopefully watch them rebuild and, and come up. So
you have your team that you are die hard for, then you have the team that you're just, okay, if my team doesn't make it, at least I have an underdog team, and yours just happens to be the teams that you mentioned. Me, personally, I usually go for the people with the lowest stats for the season coming in.
Yeah.
So it changes every year. It just so happens that the Browns this year was one of the people with the better stats.
Yeah.
But I think for a second I was actually hoping for them to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, no, it would have been cool.
I just got speared. Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man.
So it's just one of those things I always intrigue myself with most days. But
for sure.
But let's get talking about you a little bit more. 2 hours in and stuff. What do you do outside of gaming and football?
Outside of gaming, I have a fantastic wife. We have been married for 2.5 years now.
Congratulations.
And thank you, I appreciate it, man. We've been together for 7 years. We met when I was 18 and she was 20. So, dated for 4 years. We're engaged for just under 1. And then married for 2.5. Then we have a cat, the world famous Texas Marie Toast. He is a absolute piece of shit sometimes, but then other times he is top tier cat, top kitty.
Meow, meow.
And then, you know, I work a lot. I do personal protection, which is a fancy word for being a bodyguard. So I do stuff like that, and then whenever I'm not doing bodyguard work, I'm doing property protection. So I was doing stuff for a gym. They had like 85 car break-ins in 1 month, and then they stopped counting. And then, you know, they hired my company. I went there, did security there, and then I dropped that number from 85 in 1 month to 1 break-in in 2 months.
That's now. How long did it take you to get that though? That's my next question. Is how long did it take you to go from like 85 break-ins in 1 month to like 1 every 2 months?
Immediately. They had 85 break-ins, so I started doing that end of June. So I'm counting, you know, end of June, July, and then halfway through August. They had 85 break-ins in April, and then they just stopped counting. And then I came in, and then on one shift, a car was broken into 1 time on my shift, and then since then there was nothing. And it's kind of fucked. So like you walk around the building, you know, I'm armed. I got my body armor. I got my handgun. And you walk around and do patrols around the building. And the biggest thing is, you know, they watch. Like, so once I rounded a corner and kept walking to the other side of the building, they fucking broke into 1 car. After I had, you know, done the patrol, and it's like, that's how easy it is sometimes, especially in my state. It's a very bad area where I work in. A lot of homeless, a lot of prostitution, and a lot of drugs.
Oh, it sounds like a party city right there. Prostitution,
Yeah,
drugs,
Seattle.
break-ins.
Called Seattle. And then just like the lack of police and stuff, it's just a really, really rough area. But no, I mean, that's what I do for work. I used to do armored transport, where I worked on ATMs and I transported a bunch of money and shit like that. I did that for 3 years. And that was the really stressful job. I was in management. I was in charge of oh god, how many people was it? I was in charge of about 10 or so people in real life. Having to schedule them, having to, you know, work Monday through Friday and then pick up stuff on weekends. It was a lot of stress. A lot of me, you know, working 15-hour days, like, constantly. You know, not having a set time to get off. It's like, hey, I start at 4 a.m. and then I get off at like 8 p.m. And then I come home, I eat dinner and eat dinner that was made 3-4 hours ago by my wife. See her for 30 minutes and then go to bed. Get my 4 hours of sleep, wake up, and then do it again, basically.
Now, was before Arma?
Partially yes, partially no. Because I worked at that job all the way up until the end of May when I left and I came to my current job. So, and Arma was going on from August of last year. So, sometimes I would be late, sometimes I would miss ops and events and shit just because of work, but
yeah,
it's
Seattle.
It's a really, really stressful job. A lot of wear and tear mentally and physically. But I didn't hate it. I was good at it. And I enjoyed being in a leadership position and like a management position in real life too. Not trying to brag, but you know, I've always liked being a leader, you know, kind of being that in that position. And I think I'm a pretty decent leader in real life and on the game. Again, I'm not trying to brag, because I'm not perfect, and I don't make the right decisions 100% of the time. No one can. But you know, it's something.
What are you talking about? You're not the president of like every country in the world who thinks they make the right decisions all the time. What?
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck Joe Biden and Donald Trump for 2024. I'm going Shew 2024. What's up, boys?
I don't even know if I qualify yet, because don't you have to be like 30-something?
Yeah, you have to be like 35, I believe, to qualify.
Yeah, give me Shew 2031. Or that would be 2032, I think, would be the next election.
Yeah.
Something like that. So,
Yeah, no,
Shew
definitely.
2032, fucking right.
Yeah. Once this podcast, like, and everything pops off more, I will literally make a shirt that says Shew 2032.
Fucking bet, bro. I'll buy one.
Bruh, like, that would be, like, the coolest thing in the world. Like, trust me, I'll be like, yo, I know this guy. I know he do good. I'm voting for him. And people are going, what? You're just, like, voting for someone that's no experience. They said Trump didn't have no experience, and to some people, he did great. To some people, he did shitty. But that's been, I'm not trying to get political here, but that's just been Shew 2032. Yes, Bucky.
Fucking Arma for everybody, bro. Arma for everybody.
Yeah. Arma is now hereby free for everybody. You must join a unit, and servers must get better.
Yeah.
You got this thing called.
Will you become president before Arma 4 gets announced or comes out? That's the real question.
Like I said, rumors going around.
Yeah. Which comes first, Arma 4 or Shew as president? We'll see. Stay tuned.
I personally wouldn't mind getting both released and announced the same year.
That'd be great.
The time that you become president, like, shit. Not even that. I wouldn't be surprised if you somehow were able to convince the world leaders to, instead of doing war in, like, real life.
Nilsen battles.
Exactly. But if you think about it, I mean, we still would have a military, but I mean, I feel like everything would go a lot smoother, in my opinion. We wouldn't have as much issues as we do nowadays if people took it to the gaming world.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. You got, like, games like Battlefield, which is one of the more realistic, faster-paced shooters out there. Then you got stuff like Arma, which is the most slow-paced, realistic shooters out there on the market. So, it's one of those things that I consider part of how things should go, you know?
Yeah.
So, if gaming was solved for everything, I think the world would be happier.
Yeah, maybe, man.
But then again,
We just solved the whole, like, world peace thing. So, good job, bro. Proud of you, man.
Now the question is, I may have solved it, but the question is, will we implement it? The world may never know. No, that's always been a theory. I've enjoyed. I'm kind of like a modern day hippie in a way. I want peace, but I know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just mainly because everyone's money hungry or wants all that power. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally want to see gamers rise up and take over the world at this point, because I feel like gamers are probably the most raging, but probably one of the most understanding communities in the world.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's a real reason why you blame the lag. As I get yeeted off a building. But no, it's a goal. I wish that could happen, but I don't know if it's ever gonna really happen. It should though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Make Arma great again, LOL. Instead of Make America Great Again, we got the Make Arma Great Again shirts.
Yep.
Just $29.99 at the 2idpodcast.com.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping that the world just gets their head out of their asses and realizes what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm all for a better place, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I know how me and Evans were talking about the economy a little bit, because he was questioning about how the different state differential is. And I told him, I said, and I think if you remember correctly, I told him I worked at 2 different states. I worked in North Carolina and I worked in New York. So they're still East Coast, but one's southerner than the other. One was making more than the other. But technically they both make the same.
Yeah.
And
it's all about, cost of living.
Exactly. The cost of living in a southern state somehow is a lot cheaper than a state in northern. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've gone on websites like apartments.com to look at rent from like different states. Did you know out of one of the states that I actually see the cheapest rent for, and that's living in a populated city, surprisingly, is like the Alabama, Illinois area.
I'm not too surprised. Kind of that Midwest area.
Exactly. My dad was telling me on how, like, I want to know why we don't go with the whole anti-tax thing, because I feel like I understand why there's taxes. However, if you look at a state like Florida, which has no taxes, they're living fine. Everyone's happy. And everything's not that expensive.
Yeah.
And why is Florida thriving? I don't know. I'm not going to open up a website or open up a book that says, why is Florida thriving? Because also, last time I knew, they like to fuck alligators and crocodiles.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've heard. I actually have a friend of mine who lived in Florida, and I asked him, I said, is it true that everyone who lived in Florida had crocodile, alligator girlfriends? And he goes, yeah, almost everybody did. He said the ratio to lake for an alligator or crocodile was a one crocodile minimum per lake or pond or swamp. One body of water at least had one crocodile or alligator.
That's wild, man.
Yes. And I looked at him and said, you're joking with me, right? He goes, nope. I said, that's fucked. He goes, yup.
Yeah, very.
I can understand why, though. Like, I mean, it's a pretty swampy area, but it's not as swampy as, like, the bayou and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's interesting when you think about it. Florida, one of the most, Florida has freaking one of the greatest world resorts, too. A few of them. Mm-hmm. You have Orlando's, you have the Orlando resorts.
Okay.
And then you also have, Disney World. That's also in Florida.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them right there. And they're the most heavily populated. And why?
Yeah,
it's because
Florida's got a fucking lot of stuff going on.
I know. It's one of the greatest tourist attractions in the world. It's one of them. It's just as good as Paris is for France. Shit. I don't know if the Brits are still in here, but what's the best city in the UK? I don't know. Isn't it Manchester? London?
No. I don't know.
Well, some people might say London, some people might say Manchester. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. In my experience, I personally haven't spent much time in Manchester. No, I know some places in England, mainly based off of American soccer, / English football. Thanks to FIFA and my dad being into soccer. So it's like I know a bunch of teams and areas and shit like that. I know some obscure names for teams and stuff like that. But I will say, I do really want to go to England someday, and so does my wife now. Now that I'm, English citizen, But no, England.
Listen, TV doesn't make
really
you an English
place.
citizen, Shew.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys in your fucking, colonies, man. You guys just don't get it. No, but England seems like a really fun place to take a vacation to. And I'll be able to go there someday soon.
One country I actually want to go to and visit is actually Japan. I like the culture. I mean, I haven't like really hardcore wanted to go. When I first was doing research on it, and it's weird because I've watched a lot of videos and stuff in the past like 4 years, and their culture just fascinates me in modern day. But when you read about what they've gone through in the past, like, yeah, I understand they bombed Pearl Harbor, but I mean, that's 2042, Jesus Christ. Survive Australia, assert your dominance. Yeah, especially with the flying spiders.
But I totally get it with the Japanese culture, because my wife is in, broad terms, like 25% Japanese. Like, her grandma is, a Japanese immigrant who came over here, got her citizenship. So being a white guy from a small farming town, going to a city for Japanese festivals with my wife and her family, it was definitely like a culture shock, but it's like their culture is really, really cool. Just the art and the music and the way they act and treat each other is really cool. So I would definitely want to go to oh my god, I almost said Japanese. I would definitely love to go to Japan someday.
I mean, you're not wrong. Japanese is Japan. Japan committed a shit ton of war crimes during the Sino-Japanese War. Yeah, that was true. But when you think about it and you sit down as a whole, that's old Japan. Like, feudal Japan. Like, 1900s, early 1900s Japan. Mid-1900s Japan. But then when you look at it today, they still have, like, the traditional attire and all that stuff, you know what I mean, during festivals. And it's one of those things that you could actually go and sit down at as a tourist and not have to really worry a whole lot. What's the worst you're gonna see? Someone not apologize every 5 minutes? Because legit, I think everyone apologizes at least once every 5 minutes in Japan. Like,
I've never been there.
No, I haven't either.
They're a really nice and respectful group of people.
Oh, they are. They're very, very nice and respectful. I mean, they probably are one of the most honorable societies, especially if you lived in feudal, because of, for example, the samurai way. That's just an example. Because with the samurai, it was, I failed my country, I'm just gonna kill myself. I don't deserve it. Like, that's their way, and they're respectful upon it. Because if they feel like that they can't do good, then why are they here? And I respect that. I truly respect that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I mean, they're also very cultural. I mean, if you think about it, most of the stuff that's happened to them was retaliation. Because no one really knew what they could do until, like, they started fighting back. Because technically, if you remember correctly, if you remember in school, we're going back to school brain, Shew. Just so you know. So, put your thinking cap on.
Fuck.
But, what year was it? It was, I think, the 16 or 1700s, I think. Or maybe earlier. Japan was invaded by China. Okay, because China was one of those big dogs thinking that they were tough shit sort of states. You know what I mean? And they invaded Japan, and people think, oh no, Japan attacked China. No, Japan retaliated to China because of the opioids that were coming from China. For most of the Asian countries, China was a big ally/enemy for that kind of stature. And I agree with the whole fighting back thing, but I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way how they could have went about it was probably wrong, because Japan has committed, like, I have read, a lot of war crimes. But that was before the Geneva freaking Convention. There wasn't such thing as war crimes. Those were just called retaliation crimes.
Oh, man.
Like, think about it. I mean, they...
Yeah.
I think Japan has pulled more Ellen Woods than Ellen would.
Oh,
Oh, trust me.
fuck.
Listen, I've heard this.
no,
I've heard
no,
the stories. I've heard the stories.
In Arma, he's kind of let loose a couple of times.
I don't know, and if I quote correctly, I think he said. So I think Marston said something about 2 times, and I think here he goes. He goes, okay, maybe twice, and then he goes 12.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And I'm not hating on him. I mean, everyone.
shit happens in Arma.
Shit happens in Arma. Exactly. So, when you think about it, I mean, yeah, they've done bad, but same with people in the U.S. You can't deny that part. But so we have Langston tonight, right?
Yeah, Langston is using his Russia campaign.
All right, so yeah, and I think a lot of us agree that I know Tryon said something about it to us. I don't know if he brought it up to any of the Zeuses, but I don't think we need to stay away from the Turks. Not to shit on them, but it's the armor.
I mean, the biggest thing is, like, that campaign is close to being done soon.
Yes.
And it just, Guan mentioned it, it's just the mod, it's kind of an obscure mod, and it's, every single time you're using vehicles from whether it's RHS or Cup or different mods, they have these different armor values. So, let's just say a T-72 from one mod may say it can take 2 rounds from a regular rocket. Or another T-72 from a different mod, same tank, just a different mod, the armor values could just be totally fucked where it takes 5 or 6 rockets. So it's not, not the Zeus's faults. They didn't make the mods. It's just some of the armor values are just a little weird. And after this campaign, I don't think we're going to be doing anything with the Turks anyways, but some of it is just that way with the armor values of the mods and then the gear that they're using too. Because like tonight we're going to be fighting the Russians. It's, there's a very big difference between Turkey and then Russia, and then let's just say Russia and like a ISIS kind of faction where they're not really wearing armor and legitimate like military gear and plate carriers and helmets and stuff. It's a very big difference, It's all about, I think as long as you don't get separated from your squad or whatever, people don't really tank rounds. Like Bucky said, just shoot them in the face. I mean, that works too. But it's like if you're by yourself and someone's tanking rounds, it's going to be a lot worse. But if you're with your squad and 4 dudes just drop a handful of rounds onto a guy, it's not a problem. Like, you don't even notice it at that point.
Well, I know for a fact that we've seen it firsthand in 1-3 when we're out and about.
Yeah.
I think Tryon has mentioned it. I know Orion has said it. I know I have said it a little bit.
I've experienced it too, I've experienced it, where I walk in and I'm breaching a building and I just, dump 15 rounds into a guy and he's, still standing and then knocks me out.
Right.
But it's, sadly it's like we can't change the mod. It's just something you got to deal with. Hopefully, it doesn't happen much or at all. But that's just, I don't know, it's fucking Arma, man. You can just crack that up to it just being Arma.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of like modern day, because I've noticed, especially me, I know a lot of us want to do more of it, but we've recently been enjoying, whenever we do it, we have been enjoying like L1's like Vietnam RPs. Which we're hoping that you will join us sometime.
I have hated that I had to miss those 2.
I know
first one I was like ready to go and like play there, and then like something popped up with life, and I had to go do it.
Yeah, life is
Do
more important
other
than
shit.
Arma.
And then on the second one, I was like, okay, I'm going. And then my wife was like, well, my family just came up with plans for like my mom's birthday. So I was like, okay, gotta go to the mother-in-law's for her birthday party and stuff like that. So that's why I missed that second one.
Yes.
So we've done, obviously we do fun ops. And we've done fun op campaigns where we've done World War II as Americans, World War II as Germans. We've done the Vietnam stuff, and typically it does really good for the first couple of weeks. And
then it just dies down.
RP stuff, yeah, Ellenwood's RP stuff is completely different. But if we're doing like a Saturday campaign for like World War II stuff, it'll do great for the first 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks it just kind of dies out. And people either don't show up or they get burnt out. And it's like, we do fun ops. That's like our thing. It's like, yes, we have our modern Cyprus campaign on Fridays, and then we have our modern Russia campaign on Saturdays. Those will eventually change once Cyprus is finished. Once the Russia campaign is finished, it'll be different campaigns.
Right.
I can't really speak on who we're going to be fighting, what the storyline's going to be like, because I just don't know at this point. That's also partially up to the Zeus.
Yeah.
They're the ones who come up with a story. I helped come up with the Russia stuff. It was kind of like a group vote with our command staff. But Guan, he came up with the entire Cyprus stuff. He does a lot of research. And he goes really, really, really in depth and like not hardcore, but he goes really hard into it, and I think it's fantastic. I think he's a great Zeus.
Yeah, I agree. Guan is a great Zeus, and I feel bad when, like, Arma happens, as we've all been saying, Arma happens, or there's no communication, and you put all this hard work in, and it's not going the way that he was hoping, and I feel bad to him some nights. You know what I mean? Like, last night, I'm not trying to be that guy, but, like, last night, like, we had to stop mid-op, if you didn't know, and legit just talk about it and stuff, because people were, even me, were getting really pissy about how things were going, because like one person was saying one thing, one person was saying another thing. I don't know if you can hear the dogs. I really hope you can't. I'm sorry if you can.
No, I can't.
Okay,
Don't
that's
worry.
good.
Dogs.
But you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Just the communication I felt like wasn't key last night, and I know we stopped and talked about it and stuff, but. Yeah. I just, all I said during my AAR, and just so you're aware, all I said was like, it's just a game. All we can do is improve and get better. I understand we're trying to be realistic, but all we can do is just get better, and it's just a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I understand if you want to like play hardcore, like everything is like so extreme, but like I said, in the end, it's just a game. I mean, look at me right now. Like I might be raging now and again, but it's not the end of the world. And that's one thing that some of the new people who come in think, oh, it's going to be realistic as fuck. I think every recruiter tells them like they're trying to be realistic, but they know shit happens. Like that's what I was told when I was talking to. I think it was Sanchez who I was talking to. When he was recruiting me, so it was him, I believe, that I was talking to. He was the one telling me about it, and I'm like, alright, that's fine, I understand being realistic, but if shit happens, because of mainly the mod lists and stuff like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, and I think we do a pretty good job of being realistic, but there's only so much you can do.
Exactly.
It's still a video game, some shit just isn't possible. So,
I mean, I know what we could do. We could take back a couple hundred years, go back to like the Revolutionary or Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Maybe.
Just go back to the very old days where there wasn't vehicles and just have like a basic ass mod set. Just firing muskets and I mean, hey, I've brought it up a few times, and some people said they wouldn't mind it if the world wasn't the way it was now with the whole politics. I said, why does politics have to involve us having fun? Like, that's the one thing I never understood about some words that people say, like, oh, we wouldn't mind doing that if politics wasn't involved. I'm like, who the fuck cares about politics? If you're playing, like, for example, we're doing, like, the Cyprus campaign, that's, like, Turks and all that stuff. We're doing the Russians. Russia is still pretty much allies. They're neutral with us. They will fuck us up, or they will help us.
Yeah, the big thing is, like, so I know you only joined in the middle of July, but, you know, Irvin, I had him actually kind of come up with, like, a whole storyline of events, and things just kind of deteriorated over, like, a year, and then we got to the point where, you know, it was America was funding forces and Russia was funding forces, and then those two forces were fighting with each other and shit like that. And like terrorists like fucked up like Russia's like oil production and oil gathering pipelines or something. So then Russia tries to, you know, invade America through Alaska and, you know, get a bunch of oil from like pipelines there and shit like that. And that's kind of how it started. Obviously, it's something that wouldn't really happen, and it's, you know, fictional and stuff like that, but it was really cool being able to come up with ideas like that and basically just, you know, kind of creating our own story. And I thought I think Langston Zeused it incredibly well. I think it's been really fun and enjoyable. And then I also think Irvin did a great job of kind of writing up a storyline that made sense, and he went really in depth and detail and took like real life shit that has happened and realistic shit that's believable, and then, you know, added his own touch to it.
Yeah, like I wasn't part of the Russian op first night last week. I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. I had stuff I had to do that night, and on top of that, fucking my second job I had at the time was being a real prick about everything. Like, I didn't get out of work that night until fucking like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I had I was a dishwasher and shit happened.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to work at like 5-6 o'clock in the morning to go to Walmart to go work my day job. I basically said, screw that, I'm going straight to bed. I ain't hopping on or anything besides everything was done.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was frustrated. I was excited, you know. And when I go looking in general, like, hey, who's excited for being CIA agents and see like that, I'm like, holy shit, I'm down. And next thing you know, you look at your schedule and you can't make it. You're like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's like, that's like one thing, especially being like the leader of the unit. I always do my best to be there. And it's like, I hate that I missed last night because obviously we know about the Blue on Blue incident that, like I said earlier in the podcast, that, you know, we've gotten it handled. I've talked to people. We've gotten things figured out, and we're going to move on from there. But it's like that. There's just like some of that stuff I just wish I was there to be able to help out. But also, like, sometimes I've got to be able to take a break and live my life, my real life, and stuff like that. And, you know, I had a really good house party, had really good friends I've known for a while come over, had, you know, the neighbors come over. And then it just sucks, you know, getting messages while, you know, I'm drinking and I'm at a party with my wife and friends and stuff like that and entertaining people. But, I mean, that's also just kind of, you know, part of the shit that you get when you're the leader of the unit. And I'll never, you know, ignore anyone, and I'll never turn anything down. But it's like, I'm like drinking and I'm talking with my buddies. My phone goes off because I get a DM and it's like, hey, such and such happened. And I'm like, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't. That happened to me a lot too. Like, before I got into like joining units, I used to run a couple like Call of Duty clans on top of a few Halo clans. So leading is nothing new. And there was one incident I had. It was with one of my NCOs who was in charge of a tournament that night. He and a couple of the new guys, they were preparing for the session that night and all. But it was one of those like side ones. I can't remember what we were using, but it was one of those like, hey, pick your 4 guys and go and do like a tournament sort of deal, and they were supposed to play that night, and the fourth guy never showed up, and they were short one man. I was out and about. I couldn't make it because of football practice. I was like 16 at the time, running like a 30-man like freaking Halo Call of Duty clan. It was like a shit show. I said, fuck. I messaged everybody, and everyone's like, yeah, man, I can't make it. You know, this. I'm like, I understand that. No problem. So legit, I said, what time does it start? He's like, oh, it's 8 Eastern. I said, okay, it's like 7 now. I have enough time to get over there and do stuff. And it's like, there's... And that's my first mistake when I started doing clans and stuff, was they needed somebody and I didn't have like somebody on standby, and that's always a mistake. Like you said, you've made mistakes when you started leading and stuff like that. I made mistakes.
Absolutely.
And so I understand. And with that whole blue on blue last night, that it got so bad, like it was still talked about for a good hour after it happened, and Tryon just basically said, lock it. Yeah. I'm tired of listening to it. Lock it.
Yep.
Like, he's like, it happened, shit happens, you know, it's just a game, leave it the fuck alone. And I agreed with him 110%. I'm like, dude, it's just a game. If you've played hardcore modes in any video game, it really happens. It happens, and it happened to me a lot. And like I said, it happens. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But what are you excited for about tonight, though?
Very excited to get back with the boys and get some playing in. Really excited to see like kind of the second phase of the Russia campaign. Us going into Russia now. I think it's going to be really fun. That, and all week I haven't really been able to even get on my computer or play anything, so it's going to be nice to play, hang out with the boys, then afterwards just kind of fucking chill, you know. I'm definitely gonna talk to everybody before stepping off, make sure that, you know, shit that happened last night's not going to carry over.
That's what my fear was, honestly. I'm like, okay, last night happened, but
yeah.
I was afraid that shit was going to roll over into today. Sorry. The girl, I'm doing this in my bedroom, and my fiance was looking at me all weird, and she's jumping up and down on the fucking floor all giddy. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't want to fuck with you.
This woman, bro.
Yeah, but, you know, like, that was my fear of going into tonight. Like, I'm excited about tonight. It's a whole new scenario for me because I missed the first session that happened with it. But I was afraid. I'm like, is everyone gonna be good? Is everyone's hot-headedness gone? Like, can we start a whole new day?
No, I want to cuddle. I can't cuddle.
With that shit, it's like I don't tolerate that.
Good
if
boy.
we have a bad night, if we have a rough moment from one night, we don't carry that shit over. I make sure that shit doesn't happen.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know if you remember, but were you there when I got blue on blued?
I am not entirely sure. Let me check one thing, because I gotta inform you. I have been to a combined 123 operations, so it's hard to remember some.
But, you know, I'm not afraid to call out names because he actually apologized in AAR, and I said it in my AAR. But it was Ramen's first op with us.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, and
where he kind of just turned around and shot you, and then no one knew about that.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
that was the worst.
On a training night.
I think it was. And because Lewis was my team lead. I remember that very fondly. But I understand accidents happen. But you gotta use some real brains to realize we just came from over there, cleared it, and there's contact coming from there. Unless there was magically a hole in the wall, I don't... Like I said, he apologized. I forgave him. I apologized for not being too communicative. But it's like, you know what I mean?
The thing is that he owned up to it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yep, and that's what I respect. I'd rather have someone own up to it instead of just keep on dragging it on. Nothing's going to get farther from anything if you just let it drag on.
Yeah.
It just shows that you're not willing to.
I swear the
Yeah, but I'm excited for tonight though. I'm excited for the Russian op. I personally want to see an op where we do something, another like CIA Pentagon sort of spiel, because I missed that one.
I swear the wheel, honey. No.
But I think, the unit's not going anywhere. It's been going strong for, what is it now? 9 months is the 2ID. 9.5 months. So there's gonna be, more fun ops and shit like that.
Didn't you say, like, I think the first week of August, didn't you say this unit's been going on for a year? So didn't technically the 1 year already happen?
The 2ID has been going for 9 months, but the unit has been going for a year.
Okay.
So we were the 2ID in early December. That's when we switched over to 2ID, and that's when I took over.
Okay.
So I've been leading since December, but the unit, like the bulk of people, your Tryons, Bakers, Berkey, Guan and stuff, Ellenwood and I, we've been here since August, and then them since like September, basically.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy being under Tryon. I mean, yeah. He's
great.
He's great. The first night I met him, he comes in. I didn't know who he was at first, and then he starts playing Electric Avenue, and next thing you know, there's a train of us just following him.
Yep.
Oh, that was a great night. I'm like, we're gonna have a great time, and then he pulls us aside, and he tells us, like, hey, there's two different me. There's the stressful me, and you come in, I'm probably gonna be, hot-headed, speak first, ask questions later sort of guy, and then there's the fun, like, out of myself kind of guy,
Yeah.
and he owns up when, he feels like he makes mistakes, and I think that's what I like to see in a squad lead, is someone who's willing to own up on their mistakes instead of just blaming people. And I've noticed that a lot, not blaming people, but there's been a lot of times that there was accidents. A lot of team leads, a lot of squad leads have owned up to it. I've even owned up to a couple accidents, but I've usually just been following orders at this point. And I can't wait to get to the role where I can at least lead a team at some point. I feel like that'd be pretty interesting to see.
No, I mean, the biggest thing is if you do good, if you show initiative, and you do your job, you do the shit you're supposed to, there's always opportunities for you. And that goes for anyone in the unit, whether you're new or you've been with us since, December, January, February, whatever. It's like, at one point, Tryon was a medic. Schulters was a private. Baker was a medic. Everyone starts somewhere. At one point, it's like, Ellenwood was my team leader for my squad, and then he was my platoon sergeant when I was platoon leader. So, and we already have a good amount of people. We got 100 people in our Discord. Albeit
We do?
Some of those guys are inactive.
We have 100 people in our Discord? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I think I can get the exact number, but I think it is actually 100 people. It is 99. 99 people.
Come on,
in our
people.
Discord.
Let's recruit one more people. Come on. We just
Yeah,
need one more
right.
person. I've been looking at the OBS screen. I've never been looking
For
at
what,
chat. There you go. The last thing was that. All right, I just want to make sure. But I mean, it felt great when I did my first 3 and then I got promoted.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm waiting for that moment to say, "Hey, look, Thomas is now a PFC or something." I'm gonna be like, "Sweet. When's that gonna happen?" Like, I'm excited for like any kind of promotion because sometimes it comes out of the blue. Like, you don't realize it, and it's just wonderful. But I'm not gonna beat that at all because I'm like, listen, there's a lot of other people who deserve it more than me. I'm probably end of the spectrum at this point because I've done a pretty moderate job. But there's people who I've seen who've done outstanding work, especially like someone like Marston. I mean,
Yeah, Marston is Marston's I fucking love that guy.
Yeah,
Martin's great,
I like working with Deason. Like when we did the tank
yeah.
op, that's actually what got me wanting to become a combat engineer. Was doing that tank op, and I finally got my kit squared away from Drake yesterday. So now I'm officially besides not being trained properly, but that tank op was technically my boots on the ground training. Yeah. I'm technically, I think, the only 1-3 combat engineer.
You guys actually just got another combat engineer today.
Oh, today? Okay. I see. I didn't know that. See? So that works out. But it feels nice, though, that it's like I'm doing something different. I'm like, that was actually something I wanted to do. Yeah. But I'm excited because last night was my first time being in the op as a combat engineer. Didn't really do a whole lot of combat engineering stuff. Tonight I'm hoping will be a little different.
Yeah,
but
you never know, man.
Exactly, like I get to defuse bombs and stuff like that, get to repair vehicles. Oh, it's wonderful. The one thing I wish that I think I need to add in my kit is honestly a mine detector. I keep forgetting because I didn't get one in my last kit. Yeah, I didn't have it in my kit, so I'm going to add that and then save it when we log in and get that squared away. But I would really love to see more like side ops from like different people in the squad. I understand Orion's been doing pretty well when we're done. He does his own like little stuff with me, for example. I kind of want to see him expand out more. I feel like it'd be interesting. I like it when Lewis, when he does his little ops. They're pretty fun as well. But I can understand like why we can't do it that much with a bunch of other people.
It's all about timing, because we have our trainings Wednesdays.
Yep.
We don't always do those every single week. Sometimes we'll take like a week off. But then we always have our Friday and Saturday ops. But it gets rough on people when you have a training Wednesday, a fun op Thursday, 2 main ops on Friday and then Saturday, and then another fun op on Sunday. And it's like, that's, 5 days in a row of ARMA? That can burn people out.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember Guan doing...
We've done that a few times. Yeah, we've done that a few times. It's like, we have small ops on Mondays sometimes, but, we can't always do, like, a bunch of stuff every week. It would be great, but also, I don't want people getting burnt out while doing side ops and then they don't come to our main stuff,
Yeah. No, definitely. I think there was one time I've been here. I think we did our main ops, our main training, and we did like, I think 3 side ops that week, and I think the only day off we had was probably Thursday. Just because it was constantly going. Don't get me wrong, I got burnt out by freaking Wednesday, but I still went and I still had a good ass time. But I'm like, dude, I want to play something different.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can understand why we can't, and that's why I said I understand why we can't do it some nights, but it's not like we can't do something different in the future.
Yeah, and like another thing is like I don't have a whole lot of hours on ARMA. It's definitely a lot more than what it used to be. It's like,
Definitely.
I don't have as many hours as people have, when they've had the game for like 5 years. But I have, with all my hours on ARMA, basically every single hour minus, give or take, 3 to 5 of those hours was spent with this unit. So that means I've spent 720 hours just in this unit.
Alright, well, hold on. There's something I kind of want to look at here. Now that we're talking about hours, I'm opening up my Steam real quick.
I know I don't have that many. I know there's people who have 3 hours in our unit, and then there's people that have almost 4,000 hours in our unit.
I'm going to say something. The only time I hop on ARMA is if someone in Discord says, hey, I'm hopping on the Alive server, Mike Force, or something like that happens. So I'm like over here, I'm like, okay, hold on. I want to see how many hours I got in ARMA. Hold on, where's my ARMA 3? When I first started the unit, I only had a total of 7 hours. How many hours do you have in ARMA? Since like...
I have 726.4.
Okay, within a month time, I have 130.8 108 hours, minus the 7 I already had. I gained 123 hours just by playing with you guys. And I actually encourage that because out of all the games I've played, I think Arma is the top played game I have on my list. And I have a shit ton of games.
Yeah. I know mine is by a landslide. I don't think I have 100 hours in any other game.
A buddy of mine had my account, but Arma 2 was the second highest. But Arma 3 was one of those games where I bought on a whim. I didn't think I was actually going to play it, you know. I thought I was going to just buy it just to have it because my friends had it. And then I actually play it. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm actually enjoying myself when I'm actually doing something. Because whenever I open up a game like Arma, I just scroll through the menu, go to multiplayer, join on the server, and then I'm done. Like, I don't even do anything after that. Like,
I think I'm like looking through my Steam library. At least
I am
games
too.
I have installed. The second highest game I have is only 30 hours. I have a couple of games in 20 hours, but I haven't even. Oh no, Squad! I got basically 60 hours on.
Is Squad a good game? Because I've thought about picking it up, but I'm like, I don't know.
It's a solid game. I have not played it in a long time, but I was in like a milsim on that, and then that's kind of how I learned how to play PC, like mouse and keyboard, and then I went from Squad once I felt comfortable back into Arma, because it's like I joined a milsim, and I immediately went from like private to like staff sergeant, and was leading a squad in a squad milsim, and it was okay.
Yeah, because I've seen people who actually play like Squad, and they take that game so seriously, like more serious than I would ever think someone would take it.
They really do.
I mean, same with Arma. I mean, we do some days, but I mean, like, it's one of those things that it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the second highest game I have is honestly an RPG, which is Dragon Age Origins.
That's a good game, though.
Yeah, I got 30 hours in that game. But, I mean, yeah. But like I said, I didn't get out of my shell of communications till I started playing online games, and then recently I've been missing that gaming edge lately, mainly because of the fact that, you know, there's nothing good coming out. And now that I joined like the milsim, the 2ID, I have played more video games in the last month than I have played anything else, and my fiance can tell you that for certain. She gets annoyed. She gets annoyed when I say, "Hey, I got Arma tonight. I'm doing Arma tonight." And she goes, "What? I thought we're not going to do a movie or something." I'm like, we can, but I really want to do this." She goes, "Fine." And then there's times where, like, don't get me wrong, I put her first. I put my daughter first. You know what I mean? But when I could just sit down and just have fun with the boys, like, I am now part of. I consider this unit the boys group because of the fact. I mean, I don't think we have any female members, do we?
No. Not that we haven't, like, not that we don't allow them. Just
none have wanted to play and join and all that. I don't even think Arma 3 is very popular with the female. Like,
I've seen a few on Arma.
You've seen a few. I have it. I've seen more females playing stuff like Magic or Call of Duty than I do anything else.
Yeah, I mean it's all just, you know, people's preference, and you know, yeah, I've seen a few people, you know.
Do you want a good, chilling, relaxing game, Shew, that you could sit down and play besides Madden? Have you ever have you ever played Splitgate?
I've not. I don't think I've even heard of that one.
Have you ever played Portal?
Yes.
Have you ever played Halo?
Yes.
Imagine, like, I'm talking like old school Halo, like Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Halo 2 was like one of the first games I ever played on Xbox.
Okay. Alright. Well, imagine those games having a love child.
Okay.
That's the best way I can describe it. You have the abilities of Portal, but you got the combat, movement, style, everything like in Halo. And honestly, how much do I have in the beta on PC? Because I have a decent. I probably played like an hour's worth. Yeah, I played like an hour's worth on PC. That was only because I was having issues. But altogether, whenever I hop on, I have the greatest time. I usually walk away with like 20 to 30 kills in like one match, and it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoy the whole aspect of it. It's such a great game. If you have the space, it's only like I think 12 gigs. I'd recommend at least downloading it and trying it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I might.
So,
Like,
yeah.
my biggest thing is like I don't have that much time. Basically all of my time on PC that I have basically goes to the 2ID.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So, and my
like I
life
said,
is kind of like the same, like wanting to spend time. It's like I don't want you to just come home and go straight onto the PC. So I try not to do that all the time. Obviously some days I'm better at doing that than others, but you know, it's all about just trying to find a balance and, you know, make sure that my wife still likes me.
does she though? Does she
I
loves
fucking
you?
hope so, man. I hope so. I hope
No.
so, man.
It's one of those questions that goes, I hope she still loves you, man. It's like, I mean, she probably does, but I mean, that's when you're not playing Arma. My girlfriend's the same way. She'll look at me and, like I said, she'll get upset with me when I'm doing Arma because she'd rather spend time with me than do Arma. But it's like, you know, I don't mind spending time with her. I don't mind spending time with Arma, but it's just one of those things where I can just, you know, I can take all my anger out on those NPCs and not have to worry about shooting real people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it can be a lot of fun, and like I was saying earlier in the podcast, like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I know, we're going for 3 hours.
Yeah, man. It's like the relationships that you just have like built with all these people, and now it's like I'm fucking following all these dudes on Twitch. I'm fucking Facebook friends. Some of them have my legit cell phone number. And it's like it's awesome, you know. It's like it's nice, and it's all walks of life, all these different people, you know. Doesn't matter race, religion, beliefs, where they live. They
Believe
just come
it.
together. We play, and we're a family. There's rarely ever any drama, and that's the way I want it to be. You know, it's like, yeah, sometimes people get pissed off at each other, but you know that shit just happens. It's bound to happen, but I'm just happy with everything and how things have turned out with the unit. You know, I didn't think it was gonna be as successful and as good as it is now, and it's still, you know, it's not the best, not the best thing in the world, but I really enjoy it, and a lot of people here really enjoy it, and they say, you know, it's like their escape, their way to be able to vent and just have fun, you know. So that's
definitely
like a big thing for me. And it's like, you know, these guys are coming here and having fun, and you know, being able to get away from, you know, the monotony of day-to-day life and the stress and pressures and all that shit, you know. It's nice hearing that like, hey, we help people out, you know.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand. Now, when you say you take things like when you're playing the game, okay, and you throw things out like the window, and you're just like, your outside world is one thing, but when you're in game, it's a whole different scenario. You're a whole different person, because that's what my squad lead says. He's straight up. He goes, listen, what happens out there, it might dwindle into Arma, but whenever we're here on op night, I'm here to fucking roll. I'm ready to get shit done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can get down with this dude. And legit, I like I said, me and Orion have talked about it a lot. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to shout him out on it. But we have, once we start hanging out with Tryon, like talking to him, being around him, honestly, we've seen both sides, and He reminds me a lot of, like... You ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yes.
He reminds me of the sergeant.
Yeah.
What's your name, Private? Yeah. What's your name, Private? Kyle, sir. You more look like your name's not Private Power. Where the fuck it is. And it's just... He gives me a lot of, like, Earl Ernie vibes, and I just...
Yeah.
He gives me a lot of those vibes, and I love it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Tryon. His personality fits with his squad.
Definitely. Especially when we're coming back to COP. Sometimes we'll be quiet and we'll just chit-chat when we're done with the whole thing and we're on our way back to, like, regroup. Sometimes he doesn't give a shit and he'll start playing music and play it through TeamSpeak in our thing, and it's wonderful because it's like, alright, we just had a stressful event. Now we're gonna wind down and go do AAR, and what better way than just, you know, being quiet and still being serious, just to wind down and just play some music, talk a little bit, you know. It's not the end of the world. And that's what I like about him a lot. And I enjoy being around him a lot more too when it's on our Friday, Saturday op nights. And when he shows up on some of our side ops too, if he can. But I enjoy it. I especially being led by you, Shew. Ellenwood did a great job when I first joined because technically you were on hiatus, like you said, for the first 2 weeks of my time being there.
It was a combination of a lot of stress, a lot of life stuff, and just needing to take a step back. And then, you know, it was nice. I didn't touch my PC for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but like I said,
yeah.
But like I said, it was, he's done great. Tron's done great. Baker's done great. All your squad leads, your team leads, they're all doing great, and they're also
all in that position because of that. And it's like I can trust them, you know.
Exactly.
And they're an extension of myself, and I rely on them, and they're all in those positions because I trust them and because I believe in them. And they wouldn't be in that position if I didn't.
Definitely not.
I'm not a guy to give, you know, handouts. And I'm also a guy that doesn't expect to get anything handed out to myself either.
Oh, definitely not.
Like, yeah, it's like I started as, you know, like a private. I could have started as a corporal if I really wanted to, but I wanted to start from the bottom, and I wanted to earn everything I got.
Exactly, and that's why that's when I'm saying, like, when I said I got that promotion from PVT to BV2. PV2, I mean, not BV2. I'm not no Star Wars here, but to PV2, it felt great. I'm like, okay, I did my 3, now I'm a PV2. Now, what do I gotta do to become a PFC or something? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's my next grind now, is enjoying that in the unit and get to that next step. Because when you get that feeling of promotion from something from the ground to go up, it's so satisfying. It's not as easy as if you're playing an online game and you just earn experience and then you level up. No, from what I'm understanding, from the way how I'm put it, you have to show that you can do it to earn that next step. And then once you achieve it, it's great. It feels wonderful. And now you can just move on with the rest of the unit and enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it is 6:30 Eastern time. We got an hour and a half. I think you want to do something and wind down a little bit more before we do the op tonight. And I think I'm going to end it here.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I'm actually glad that you actually wanted to participate. It made me feel like it's going to go well and stuff. And
absolutely, man.
Yeah. I mean,
be on another time, you know.
Oh, definitely. I want to get. Definitely. I want to try and get Baker or Tryon onto one of these if I can. Yeah. You know, Schulters as well. Get some squad leads in. You know, like I want to. Oh, I think it would be wonderful. But like I said, we're gonna end the podcast. Can I get my wordings out? We're gonna end the podcast on a good note. I just want to say one thing before. If you're watching this before the op tonight, like Shew said, it's just a game. Let's leave what yesterday happened out and just enjoy for the rest of the today. And let's just go in with a whole different attitude. And I think we all should have a really fun time tonight. No more he said, she said bullshit. No more anger. It's a whole new day. I want to get out there and have a good time and go kill some Russians.
Absolutely, man.
Not in real life, of course. I love the Russians. I'm talking about in Arma.
Oh, yeah, man.
Alright. But I will see you in the server, Shew.
Yep, I will see you in just a little bit, my friend.
I'll definitely talking to you for 3 hours, and I get to hear you for like another 2 to 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and stream it on my end. The op on my end if it runs good. If not, then I'm probably not gonna run it. But
Okay, awesome.
yeah. But again, thanks for coming on. And if anyone has any questions or stuff they want to ask in my next podcast, I'm gonna try and do these at least once or twice a week. And if you want to hop on, just shoot me a DM, and we'll go from there. Thanks everyone for joining, and I hope to see y'all tonight, whoever's participating. And I'll catch you later, Shew.
See you there, buddy.
See you there. Bye.